Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome, come on in.
Welcome. You are now listening to Click Click Play. Please enjoy.
Fight!
Hello and welcome to episode 66 of Click Click Play, the greatest podcast in the world. Without a doubt, nobody has ever come close. And now I've filled enough time to make it so that I can unmute Mellum and Jordan.
Hey,
I'm here with
Hi.
Mellum and Jordan. Guess which one's which?
Woo!
Jordan.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, you're one of them. You're not an extra. Mellum is here. Mellum is no longer ill. He got out of all of those E3 shows by pretending to be ill. I was quite impressed.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to change the
Has Mellum
chat
got
colour.
a tan?
Yeah, he has got a tan for a Norwegian.
I was ill at the beach
Oh, I get like that. Yeah.
every day.
Brilliant. So, today's gonna be probably quite a long show. I'm gonna guess because we're gonna do E3, gonna cover all the E3 stuff. We've got some
I have
awards.
extensive notes.
Do we have the?
Yeah, I have a full page.
Do we have a Jordan Reese biggest disappointment award? Is that the Jordan
No.
Reese? So we've got the Jordan
Jordan
Reese
Reese.
twat of the year and the Jordan Reese biggest disappointment award.
The Jordan Reese, it's fucking FIFA and or Call of Duty Awards 2018. And the winners are FIFA and Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think awards-wise, I reckon we do,
Should
as
just-
we go through
yeah.
the conferences, if we do like game of the conference, if we all decide together,
Mhm.
and then all of those games, we battle at the end to get best game of show. And we
Okay.
also vote on,
Best-
or argue about best conference
Oh, so-
as
oh,
well.
we're
And then
gonna have-
maybe and then just biggest disappointment, which could be anything.
Do you say we're gonna have like the best game for each one, for each
Yeah.
conference? Okay, that makes sense. All right. Well, hello everybody. I'm BiggusBennus. Joining me, Meloman's down there. He's a tweeter as well, Twitcherer, and Jordan Reese there. Are we
I
gonna?
apologise to the audience that we just did that bit of admin on the show. That's not a professional thing to do. But that's the way this works. It's supposed to be 8 p.m. BST, but Ben has decided to go 2
I
hours
think
early.
it's always been. It's like been 6 the last 3 or 4 shows, hasn't
And
it?
we even tweeted out 8 p.m. You did clearly you retweeted it and you didn't read it. Oh no.
No. Oh, that's me. We'll have to put it a little bit earlier from next week because I'm working really early. But yeah, so are we doing anything about carrying on with the admin stuff? Are we talking about any games we've played?
We can do. Me and Mellon were just talking about it. He's bought a Switch now, so we probably need to just quickly touch on that exciting news. I am excited about that. I want to talk about not a lot actually. I haven't been
He's
playing
got the
much. I wanna
ugly
talk
one.
about the Octopath demo.
He's got the ugly version of the Switch.
No, that's the proper version of the Switch.
All right, Rob,
The
how's it
canon
going?
version.
Got
I'm
Rob
not
in
a
the
child, Ben.
Oh, but you can get the other. But if you get the spare Joy-Cons, they come in the other way round colors. So I can have a red Switch, or I can have a blue Switch, or I can have mixed, or I can have blue and red, or I can have red and blue. What more could you want?
But grey is proper.
Proper boring.
Yeah.
I mean, I just very quickly like the games I played very briefly. I played a game called Flashing Lights, which came into Steam Early Access, which is it's emergency services simulator. It's shite. I got a refund. Really, really bad. Really, really, really bad. I mean, it's not one of those games that they've just put up there to try and make a bit of money. It's one that somebody thinks, this could be a good game. I don't see it. I had to I crashed out at one point because the car got stuck. It's just a really bad game. Don't go anywhere near it. Also, really bad game, Fallout 4. No, speaking of glitches. No, I played Fallout 4. I really, really enjoy it. It's weird. It just feels... I find that Bethesda games feel... The majority of them, like the open world ones, kind of feel bad. Like Skyrim and Fallout 4, they just feel glitchy and... But it makes up for it in other ways.
They feel bad. I thought you were going to say like epic or.
No, they they control all right, but then it's just all there's so many glitches for a game that's supposed to be out. How long has it been out for now? 3 years. And I've even downloaded the unofficial patch because apparently this patched all the errors that were missed, but I still encountered an error like every 10 to 15 minutes.
I played Fallout 4 from release day and I didn't get a single glitch, which I know isn't typical.
Yeah.
I think I was just lucky with it.
Are you on PC or PS4?
I never had a glitch in it either, other than like when I try to fuck up with climbing a mountain that is unclimbable or something like that.
I played
it on PC, Ben.
Yeah, because I did where the subtitles were stuck. There was one point where every time I was asking when I was speaking to a character that went into like third person view discussing it, like my body was spinning around or my body was facing the other direction and my head was like Exorcist
Did you have
style.
any mods installed?
Just the only two mods I had was the one where it makes so the dog will always be with you, and then the extra people are just your companions, and then the patch that was
dog mod for?
unofficial.
What's that?
So that the dog isn't a companion, the dog's just like always with you, so you can have two companions.
I'll have other companions as well as the dog.
Yeah, because apparently they worked out that they found it in the code or something that the dog was never supposed to be a companion because you can't romance a dog, whereas you can the other companions.
Sure.
Which is
not
Christian.
Well, you can if you want.
Yeah, well, I think it's against the law. Also, speaking of PC ports, I played Neo last night for a bit, and I was playing it going, all right, it runs better on PS4. It runs much better on my PS4 Pro, and I was getting 28, 29 FPS.
Really?
But I looked on, I Googled it. It's a useful thing, this google.com, if you've not heard of it. You typed in Neo FPS low, and someone said, oh, go into your NVIDIA graphics control panel, sort out these 5 or 6 settings, and then I did that. Perfect. And JP in the chat, who somehow managed to defeat that first boss with the massive balls on 15 FPS, because he was having the same problem, and somehow managed to defeat that boss with that on his second go. I have no idea how. But he's like a big Souls fan, so he's kind of a pro at those. But he described that as a lifesaver because it's now running 60 frames per second, not a single hitch.
Yeah, I don't think I needed to fuck with it at all. I think it just it ran great for me as soon as I installed it.
It's weird. Yeah, I was getting like 40 in the training area. Then as soon as I went to, I was like, oh, it's probably going to sort itself out when I get to the first, like the main mission, and it'll all be nice then. And no, it went and dropped down to 27, 28 it was averaging, but now it's solid 60 with no hiccups.
Anyone with a decent PC that isn't getting 60 frames out of that game is doing something wrong, because that game like ran really well on PlayStation.
Yeah, I read that on.
If you've got a good PC, it should be flying.
On PS4 Pro, it's always 60 frames per second, but it can change between 1080 and 720. Whereas on PC, it's always 1080, so I justify that for buying it. But it's on special offer now, so if anybody wants or is interested in it, it's 40% off on Steam for the full edition, including the DLC. So I'm going to be
really good
playing that. And also, there's a big community on Twitch, so if you like streaming it, lots of people want to come along and give you advice and chat about it. And yeah, it's got
there's a sequel coming.
Yeah, there is a sequel. Hey, Unicorn Wizard, how are you doing? We've got update my best. Oh, we've got a raid going on. Unicorn with Emma, how are you doing? People, we have turned the alerts off just because this goes on iTunes and other podcast things. But thank you so much for that. How was your stream? But I update my BIOS. Oh, is that for Neo? But yeah, I can't wait for the sequel. And like I said, the only other game I've played quite a lot this week is Jurassic World Evolution. I was pretty worried about it, and I wasn't sure whether I'd get it or not. With that IGN review was 4.8, and it's weird because the first 10 hours I've played of it, loved every second, really, really love it, and the last 2 hours I'm just starting to find things a little bit annoying in it. There are lots of timers. It's like mobile port type. It's like a mobile game in the sense that you got to wait for this, got to count down. Okay, you're researching it. That's 8 minutes to research. Then you send a team away, and you can research something. So you can send out 2 teams that take like 2 to 3 minutes to come. And I mean that bit is annoying, and it's weird because like there's a sandbox island that you only unlock after I think it's I just unlocked it after doing about 2 islands. Like halfway through my second island, it said, "Oh, we've unlocked the sandbox," but you can only use the stuff that you've unlocked in the main mission, the main like story mode, which are these 5 different islands. Those ones are kind of fun. There's always missions to do. There are always things that you can do. But you can't transfer money over. So I've got one island that's got 30 million and it's just constantly making loads and loads of money. Whereas my second island has started to do that now. But the third island is all about being a financial, like it's a financial nightmare. People have spent too much money and there's no, for some reason they'd built a visitor center but hadn't even put any dinosaurs on the island. So I wasn't quite sure what was going on in that one. But yeah, you can't transfer your money over, but you can transfer fossils. So when you send these expeditions out to go and find fossils or to find some DNA, they'll come back with either fossils or stuff that you can sell, like that don't contain any specimen but have, I don't know what they are, they're just worth quite a lot of money. So what I've just been doing is going on my islands where there's 30 million, sending all these teams out, and then when I've got a full, of which there are only like 6 spaces for fossils in my inventory, going and then switching over to my poor island and selling them. So I've got money, and then I can run that. I don't know if that's a glitch that's going to be fixed, or it just feels like a way of getting around it. But it's switching islands and sending them out and waiting. It's getting a little bit boring.
Like busy work. I watched you play it for like an hour. I was creeping, and it just looked like a lot of busy work. Whether this is a 4.8 or whether it's a 7.5, whatever, that's subjective. But this definitely isn't the game that I wanted. This isn't the game that I thought this is going to be. And it's difficult with it being a strategy game. They need to bring that strategy element into it. I get it, and some of that stuff can be quite laborious. But like just the fact that there's like straight away, like I was watching you play it, and from the reviews I read, like, you know, you had a relatively small park at the time. Is the first time you like played the game.
It's really
There's
small.
already dinosaurs escaping, they're eating people, and then you just send helicopters to tranquilize them. And it's like, well, for me, that would have been like the coolest thing in the game, is that, you know, the park gets breached and the dinosaurs escape, and that bit should be epic. And it just isn't. It just seems like that's part and parcel with playing the game, which kind of makes sense. I'm not sure how I was expecting them to actually do that stuff and make it as epic as the films, but it definitely isn't what I want. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll see what happens with any kind of mod scene or updates.
Apparently they can't.
Like that, but right now
they can't allow the legal mods are not going to be allowed. So Steam Workshop's not allowed because of the Jurassic Park franchise.
Would that ever stopped anybody?
That's
like,
true.
I get the sense the tail on this game will be quite short. I think they were quite smart to release it during E3 time, because there's still not that many reviews considering it's a Jurassic Park game.
Loads of people have been playing it, like some massive streamers. I think Shroud. I don't know if you've heard of him. One of the biggest streamers, like on Twitch.
Does nothing to assure me of quality. I can promise you that.
No, but it's getting promotion. I don't know if it's them. To be honest, on Twitter,
it's Jurassic Park, isn't it? You know, like, people are gonna play it, and I'm not saying it's a broken game. It seems like a really fucking boring game, as far as I can tell. This is a game about creating a dinosaur world. Should be really fun. And it just doesn't seem fun to me at all.
I'm gonna go and try and finish it. I want to try and unlock everything that I can, which I think I should be able to within 30 hours. But then playing it on. I want to try that sandbox mode and just see if it's actually fun in the sandbox mode. Because, okay, you make like what would be the point of a sandbox mode when you can't do much editing? Because it's a management sim. What's the point in a sandbox mode in a management sim with unlimited money when you can't edit like in Planet Coaster? So these are the guys that did Planet Coaster, and I know a guy who's loves Planet Coaster. Really enjoys pretty much all. What's the name? Frontier Development. Frontier. I think they're just called Frontier. Who do Elite? They do Planet Coaster. They've done Zoo Tycoon. Really enjoys those games. He's played Jurassic Park for a few hours and was just like, yeah, it's kind of all right, but a bit boring.
Yeah, for a game like this, that's the worst thing you can say, because there should, you should be scratching the surface of that game right now. If you're like 10 hours in, only now it should start. The basics should be clicking with you, and it should be really deep. And I get the impression that isn't the case with this game. It just gets more and more boring, more and more frustrating.
I still am scratching the surface just because it's taking so long to unlock things. So I'm like just waiting. At the moment, I've got something like 11 or 12 dinosaurs that I can breed. And sometimes they get to they take, 3 or 4 minutes. Sometimes it depends on the dinosaur, but 3 or 4 minutes to breed, but then to hatch. And then halfway through that, they might just, the egg might crack, and then that's it. You've got to discard it. It costs a lot of money.
I just want to point out Rob is calling. Is it Shroud? Did he
Shroud.
say that Shroud is? So he's Rob in the chat. Rob underscore butt.
Yeah.
Is saying that Shroud is a shill. What do you
Rob's
think
a
about that?
shill. Yeah. I don't watch Shroud really. I follow him, but I don't watch him that much. He's no ninja.
Okay,
Isn't he
Hashtag.
like the best FPS player in the world or something?
Probably.
Should
He's
we
good.
start a war with him?
Yeah, let's have the guys go and flame his. No, don't.
Come at me, bruh.
Yeah. Yeah, we know we're bored of Ninja.
Cloud9, that isn't a big team, is it?
T9. Don't know that one.
Cloud9. It's the biggest team in America in every game.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jurassic World Evolution. I'll play a bit more this week. It seems like a game that I want to finish. I want to see all the islands because there's one island that's really, really, really small. So I want to see what the challenge is on there. That looks like it could be kind of interesting. But I've already got a little bit of T-Rex DNA to unlock, so I can very soon make my own T-Rex, which is fun. Oh, it was a joke. Apparently, he's one of the top CS players. Right. So yeah, they're my games. What games have you been playing, Jordan?
Not a lot. I've mostly been watching videos about video games via the E3 streams, and staying up too late and watching all that shit. But the most recent thing I've played is the Octopath Traveler demo.
Yeah.
So at E3 they announced a second demo, which has a 3-hour time limit on it and will carry your progress over to the main game. This is the game that I've been interested in since they announced it, because just based on the way that it looks incredible. It's kind of got a classic JRPG style to it, but then kind of rendered in a really beautiful kind of pseudo 3D style. And I was keen to kind of play more of the game. I played a little bit of the demo, but as soon as I knew that this is something that I'm into, I was like, I'm going to leave it because I'd rather just play the full game. But the fact that this carries over into the main one, I'm happy to do it. I did the whole 3 hours last night, and it was an absolute blast. I loved it. And it's one of my most anticipated games now. And I think it comes out in like a month, so I don't have to wait too long for it. But it is so good, like a really quality JRPG. The thing that really makes it stand out is the 8 character thing. So there's 8 unique characters set throughout the world. They don't know each other, and you pick one to start with. So they've all got different kind of roles, different qualities in terms of the way they fight. But you can start with any of them, and you'll start somewhere in this quite big world map.
Yeah.
And you'll go through their opening scenario, learn a little bit about them, kind of where they're coming from, what they can do, what their powers are, what they want to achieve. You go through that scenario, and then you kind of let loose on the world, and you know what you need to achieve to kind of finish your story.
Yeah.
You need to go about that, but these other players are set in the world, and you can go and meet up with them. And bring them into your team, but you can do that in any order that you want, or you can just carry on with your story, or you can go meet one and then do their story instead. And each time that you meet one, you get the choice to go through their opening kind of scenario.
Yeah.
And then when it gets to the end of that, you kind of help them with an initial mission for that scenario before they're kind of set free on the world as well. And you're slowly building up your team. So I managed to get 3 people together. And kind of saved it in a cool place, ready for the main game. But I can't recommend this enough for anybody that's a fan of old school JRPGs or just
especially on the Switch.
Video
Seems
games
perfect.
It's really good.
Seems perfect on the Switch as well.
Yeah, totally.
I really hope
beautiful on that screen. Absolutely beautiful.
I really hope it's a long game. I really want a nice long JRPG just to kind of chill with and
I think it
play
will
on
be.
and off.
If you think about, you've got those 8 characters. They've all clearly got kind of storylines attached to them, and the game is quite flexible. I'm pretty sure the way that it seems to be presenting it might be difficult, but I think you could just take your starting character and then just complete their quest without meeting up with the other people. You could just ignore them, because you walk into like a city or town and you can see the person that you know is one of these other Octopath people, but you can just totally ignore them. So if you think you've got basically 8 maybe miniature campaigns there to do, and then I've got to assume that stuff, once you've done it all, leads into something else.
Yeah.
And the world seems quite big as well. Like I've only explored a small part of it, and I was playing for like 3 hours straight.
And you say that it's 3 hours. So does that mean is it like a timed demo? They say you've got 3
This
hours.
is the cool thing about this demo, right? So if you wanted to, the way that it works, the 3 hours is based on the in-game clock. And when I got to like 2.5 hours, I was getting a bit worried, because I was like saving constantly, thinking when it gets to 3 hours, is it just going to boot me out?
Yeah.
but it does it really nicely. So, for instance, when I got to the 3-hour mark, I went and saved my game to check the time, and it just stopped at 3 hours. It didn't go any further in terms of the actual time it was recording, but it didn't kick me out of the game either. And what it did, I was in the middle of the third character's like opening quest. It let me finish that quest, and then when I went out into the town and tried to like go elsewhere, then it kind of came up with a screen saying, "Okay." So I probably played about 3.5 hours of that campaign. But it's really nice in terms of it doesn't just kick you out. It waits until an appropriate point and then gives you an option of saving at that point as well, so that you've got a nice clean save for when you want to carry on. The other cool thing is that, and I'm assuming this is the case, I can't see why it wouldn't be. So that lockout is based on the time within that campaign. If you either delete that save file or start another one, you could play as a totally different character and just do it again and have another 3 hours. And, you know, either meet up with the same people or different people. There's a lot of content in that demo.
Sounds
if you play it
amazing.
that way. I'm not good. I like to play these games in just play it once and that's my story.
Yeah.
So I've done my 3 hours and I'll wait now for the full game. But anybody that wants to rinse that demo, I think there's a hell of a lot of content in there. You can play as all 8 of the characters.
When is release?
Next month.
Yeah, it's not too far away.
That. Yeah, 1 sec.
It's July the 13th, so less than a month, like 4 weeks.
Yeah, nice and close.
And it won't get DLC apparently.
Yeah, it just feels like a really quality game. Like everything about it is dripping in like really high presentational value.
Are the characters
And the story's
interesting?
cool as well. Like I tend to, as much as I like JRPGs, most of the time I tend to like shudder at the dialogue and the story. Like this isn't like that. It's some really like it's nothing too crazy, but some quite mature storytelling in it. Like one of the characters is a dancer. It starts off, she's with her dad, like her dad's some royal guy. He gets killed and overthrown, and she witnesses his death. And there's 3 characters that one of them kills the dad, but there's 2 guys with him, and she kind of recognizes what they're wearing and the fact that they've got these tattoos on their body. So the rest of her life is her basically waiting to find these guys so she can kill them. And she becomes a dancer in some shitty little village, like in a strip club or something. And basically she's just waiting until she sees one of these guys, and eventually obviously she does. And like the guy that runs the strip club is like abusing her and like beating her up and using her for sexual favors and stuff. It's like it's not your typical fantasy stuff. This is quite serious stuff.
I'm just looking at a review that someone's put on. They said that like they appreciate how it attempts to be more adult.
Totally.
Like which I'm really maybe I'll play that bit tonight. God.
I'm really pumped for this game.
How much is it? It's not that expensive actually, is it? It's not. Is it a full
price?
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, it's 50.
But I think it seems worth it to me.
Yeah. Oh, I'll get that. Yeah, I've pre-ordered Mario Tennis Aces, so that'll be my next Switch one.
Yeah, me too. When's that out?
Next week I think. So the Tuesday or
Friday or something.
Yeah.
Of this week, Tuesday of this week.
No, wait, maybe not. I keep thinking it's Sunday. I keep thinking it's not Sunday. I did get up at like 3:30 today. June the 22nd, so in 5 days. Friday is it? 22nd? Yeah, Friday.
Okay, cool.
Mellum, are you gonna get tennis? Because
I'm gonna have to see review stuff.
Yeah.
First.
Because we could have a quick play game.
Yeah, but I've been
Tony.
buying so much games lately, so
yeah. So
I'm not gonna get a new one.
Just before we move on to Mellum and find out why he can play lots of new games, Jordan, any other games?
That's the only thing worth mentioning, I think.
Yeah. So, Mellum, why are you able to play games like Splatoon and Zelda now?
Because I have a Switch.
Yes.
Finally, after so long.
And you have to wait for those reviews.
It's like a little indie game. It's called Zelda or something. I don't know, I'm really liking it.
And you play as Zelda, yeah?
So, I think so. No, I'm playing as Link. No, but I'm finally playing game Zelda. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna get Odyssey. It's not my cup of tea, I guess. But I'm really loving Zelda.
I'll bring you Odyssey so you can play it a bit if you want.
Ah, cool. And I've been playing some Mario Kart, which apparently I'm really good at.
Yeah, it's weird. I've lost the cartridge for Mario Kart. I'm not sure where it went. I lost it somewhere. It's really annoying. I hate it because I was playing. I don't know if anybody watched me when I was streaming Mario Kart when I first got the Switch. I used to kick ass. I beat a team where it was only against other random Japanese players. I actually won a race, and I was playing like the tournaments, and friends would come in and join, and I would kick everyone's ass, and I was so smug, and people would like be coming in and playing just to try and wipe the smug smile off my face, and I was, yeah. Melon, 2 minutes playing the game, freaking kicking my ass. I can't stand it. So, you're just one of those people that naturally is just good at video games, and I hate it.
Just lucky. Yeah, I played that, and I played Splatoon, which you're a fan of, but I think I'm gonna have to play it a little more because for me it's just chaos.
Yeah,
I don't understand shit in that game.
No, play
It's
the
really nagging me.
Play the solo game a lot. The solo is really good. The single player. Have you done any of it yet?
No, I haven't.
Because the single player plus there's a co-op that I've not played yet that everyone raves about. Can't remember what it's called. It's something like I can't remember the name. But yeah, the 3 modes in that now. There's all the multiplayer modes. Then there's the single campaign. Then there's the co-op. But yeah, we should play some of that.
And also, I bought Rocket League, and
Ooh.
that's a perfect game. Like Jordan has said so many times, it's a perfect game for handheld. It's I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, that's the 4 games I have. Now I just downloaded the demo for Octopath, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna play that tonight.
Me too. I might even stream it after this podcast.
So pro tip with it to increase your time: if you're ever like never pause the game, just press your home button on the Switch so that it goes to the home menu, and that'll pause it for you, but it won't like count towards your game clock.
Nice.
Perfect.
Actually, I downloaded a new game. I haven't played it yet. Called something like Gonorrhea for the Switch.
Okay.
Seen that one? It's a puzzle game. Gonna Goer or something. Gone Goer. Have you heard of it? Yeah,
I've heard of it. Yeah, like a perspective puzzler.
Yeah, I have no idea what it is, but someone was raving about it on Twitter, so obviously I just went and bought it. Oh, another game I played. Oh crap! There's a few more games I've played that I forgot to mention. Hollow Knight. That was we'll see in a minute. When we talk about the E3. That was a game that was announced and like, hey, it's out today. Played that. I enjoy it, but it's nowhere near as good as Celeste for me. And Celeste I finished 2,500 deaths, and I managed to finish Celeste.
But isn't Celeste just
Nice.
that's just jumping by yourself? But this is a rogue game, isn't it?
No, that's no. This one's I haven't died yet in it.
It's kind of, hasn't it got a bit of Dark Souls going on with the way that you die? I thought.
Yeah, I heard it was
Am I
like
wrong on that?
I haven't died yet. Actually, I've only played it for about an hour.
It's like a Metroidvania, but I'm sure it's got some kind of. It's not necessarily a roguelike, but I think it's got some kind of weird death cycle going on.
Yeah,
I think.
I've
Isn't there an enemies?
Oh no, there are enemies.
Yeah.
in it.
It's totally combat and.
Yeah, okay.
But it's one of those where you.
It's not the same game as Celeste. Then.
No, nothing like it.
Yeah, when I'm jumping, I prefer the jumping in Celeste. Like Celeste has got 8 directions you jump in, and whatever you press, it'll always go for the same speed, the same amount, and then you can use like your second boost jump. And by the way, the end of Celeste is so good, and really difficult. I died 1,500 times on the final level of Celeste, but it was worth it. It was so good. Every level they give you something. It reminds me of kind of Titanfall, where they add something every level just to make it a little bit different for you. But yeah, Hollow Knight's cool, but yeah, you're jumping, and it's one of those where you can hold it to jump extra high, and then you can also move while you're in the air. And I'm pretty bad with that kind of control, so I'll play it as much as I can. It just doesn't seem remarkable. I know a lot of people love this, but for me, it doesn't seem. Coming straight off Celeste, maybe that was a bad thing, but
I don't think you should
remarkable.
compare it to Celeste. So it's like you're
Just
like Dark Souls, but
Yeah.
the driving is better in Horizon.
Just the controls, like the jumping controls, because that's what Hollow Knight is. It's just a lot of precision jumping, which is like Celeste in that way, but it's not the same style, and I just need to get used to that. I think.
I think, like I've played a little bit of Hollow Knight on PC, and I thought it was okay. It does seem like it's overrated. I've never heard anybody say they finished Hollow Knight and like tell me what it's like comprehensively what that game is like end to end, it always seems like, oh yeah, that's a really good looking game and it plays quite nice, but nobody ever seems to finish it.
I know someone, Ace of Twitch, who we've had on the Twitch Play podcast, he's just recently finished it and said he was incredibly salty by the end.
In terms of difficulty.
And this is a guy who's finished loads of all the Dark Souls games and stuff. Yeah. Maybe it's Dark Souls difficulty. So you've got Rocket League, Melon. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah.
Enjoying it? Yeah. We'll have to play some games then.
Is this your first time playing Rocket League or just the first time on Switch?
First time Switch. I've been playing it on PlayStation.
So you like Rocket League anyway? Okay, cool. It's amazing how well that transports over. I never thought it would be any good on Switch, but it's really
But I
good.
don't like it when I dock it. I have to play it handheld.
Yeah, if you're gonna dock it, just play on your PlayStation. Like I bet it looks like trash on when it's
Yeah, it
docked,
really
but
does.
on that little screen, it still looks like trash. But you forgive it because it's running at a decent frame rate and it's portable.
They've
Rocket League.
improved it recently, haven't they? Or a few months ago.
Yeah, they did a patch which made like the normal mode look better, and they also released like I'm not sure what term they gave it, but they released like a mode that looks a bit nicer. It looks more equivalent to like the console versions, but the frame rate is like 30 versus 60. So that's not the way to go.
I
Yeah,
like
the normal
that you
one.
choose between quality and
Yeah,
performance.
the big difference is there's no anti-aliasing at all in the game. So everything kind of on the horizon just looks like trash. But the game plays in the same way that it should and controls really well.
Yeah,
so people should play it. Should we do E3?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Father's Day today, isn't it? That's a pain in the ass. Let me
I
just,
didn't know.
I'm just sending out a WhatsApp. Give me 1 second.
But
E3.
are we gonna do like Sony, PC Gaming, Ubisoft, Square Enix?
Do it in the order.
We're
Yeah?
gonna...
Yeah, so I've got I'm going to go through each of the conferences. I'll just give the bullet points on each in terms of what was announced or what was said. We can just talk about it. We can decide on what the best game for the show for each conference was.
Yep.
And then at the end, like I said, I guess we can decide what we think is the game of the show, best conference, and biggest disappointment, personal disappointment.
The
Probably don't
Jordan
need to
race.
argue over the disappointment. We'll just give one each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
The
good.
Ben Ostwick biggest disappointment award,
Oh,
sponsored by your dad.
yeah. Yeah. It sounds like I just messaged him saying, "Well, it's not. It's not.
6 on Father's Day.
It's not Friday
At least I've
here.
got an
It's not.
excuse. My dad's a cunt. Like, I imagine yours is quite nice.
Yeah, no, he's great. He's going to be giving me. He's taking me out for a rather expensive birthday meal next week.
Oh, maybe we should.
I'm going to be. This is my last podcast as 29 years old. My last Click Play podcast. In my 20s.
Gonna be an old turd.
Yeah, I'm going to be turdy. This beer's getting to me now. Right.
So which conference are we starting with?
We need an intro.
We'll do them
Jordan,
in chronological order, so we'll do EA. I
Jordan,
don't
could
think
you
I've got.
get
I
an
have got a
EA
PC
intro?
Gamer one. I have got that.
Could we get an EA
Cool.
intro?
Okay, or else I can do it.
This is EA.
EA!
We're kicking off.
That's the EA intro. Yeah. We've got an intro for each conference. All right, EA.
What was the intro for this one? Do that again.
EA!
Okay.
Like, yeah. EA Jones.
It's in the game.
We used to have a teacher at my school called EA. She used to always sign her name EA Jones, and somebody made like a Photoshop saying EA Jones in the game. It was funny for us teenagers, but they put it in the science lab.
Quality school humor.
Yeah.
It. All right, so let's kick off with EA then. So EA kicked off with Battlefield 5. They showed a bit of the multiplayer.
Her
I don't
mother
know
was
how much
called
you want me
Fanny.
to go into the detail on that one.
I have to say one thing. It was set in Norway and they talk Danish.
Yeah, but you speak Danish.
It's really annoying.
Pretty much
Do you
the
not
same,
speak
isn't it?
Danish?
Huh?
It is.
I
do you
speak
speak?
Danish. I speak Norwegian.
It's the same thing, more or
And
less. It's like a
and
little
it's,
accent.
It has to be a troll because the makers are Swedish.
Oh, really?
I don't know
Ah,
if you know it, but there was a woman in the trailer as well, which I wasn't happy with.
no.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of
Next,
course.
next, I'll have
Not being
gays.
realistic.
But she was talking Danish, and she was a Norwegian person.
Do they have any female? Do they have any like female gay? You know, any other like socially different characters in Octopath? 'Cause that keeps it
Like I
interesting.
said,
The dancer we just talked about.
I don't know if there's any. I haven't encountered any like queer people yet.
No.
Potentially, I think one of the other woman dancers. It's implied that she was gay for me. But that
Gay for
didn't go
you?
anywhere, unfortunately.
I'm gay for you,
Yeah.
John.
Well, not for me, but the character. Anyway, Battlefield 5 multiplayer. So,
You got any
like I
gay
said,
characters
not sure
in
how much more
Battlefield?
Go into this, but there's defensive weapons. They've got a better destruction system. How was the destruction system in Battlefield 1? Was it good?
You can smash certain things like ridges and
You can
stuff.
smash everything, every house.
Oh, really?
But
So there's-
it's pre-animated everything.
Yeah.
So if you hit the wall in like an angle, it doesn't matter. It's still gonna animate just the same every time.
So it
And I
sounds like they've
hope,
improved it a little, which
Yeah,
is
I hope so. It's
they should be
really
pretty
not-
cool because
they
the house
shouldn't,
getting fucked up and the roof collapsing and snow falling off and stuff. How that plays out with the actual game, I'm not sure.
I got an update from my dad.
Um,
Do you want to hear an update from my dad?
Go on, mate.
I'd completely forgotten. Every day is Father's Day for me. Just loving and enjoying life. Love you and really looking forward to seeing you on Friday.
Christ.
Ah.
I spoke to my dad for 5 years.
You know
I
who he
was
is?
speaking to my dad in 3 months.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Fuck you, Ben. You family.
Ah.
He's still in shock because you're gay. He just hasn't got it. He's overcompensating.
Oh no, I'm very very lucky with my I'm lucky with my family. Anyway, yes, Battlefield.
Yes. So you can customize fucking everything, which is good. So the player, the vehicles, the weapons, and all that.
Gender.
They really went hard on the whole. There's no loot boxes, no season pass, which was the theme for this E3. No doubt we'll cover that with a few other games, but EA really wanted you to know that they don't do loot boxes anymore. Battle Royale, which I feel was already announced.
It was announced
But they
by
announced it
us,
again.
John, because we had inside information by somebody who works in the game, on the game.
Okay.
There you go.
We did?
Yes, the person. Well, Mellum and I were streaming, and a person whose dad works for the company. My dad
Ken
says
Michael works for Nintendo.
said that that he'd already seen the trailer like a month ago, but also that there was Battle Royale. Then it was announced, and I was like, oh, okay.
I don't believe him. Something called Grand Operations. I'm not sure what that is.
That
And
is
then
the same.
Infinity
Grand
Warfare.
Operations are the single player ones, which were I really enjoyed them in Battlefield 1. I wouldn't have replayed them, but like as one, just like sticking you in different situations, I really enjoyed them.
Cool. They then took a little look at the single player. Seems like it's a similar kind of setup to Battlefield 1, where it follows different characters. It gives different kind of insight on the war. So that was it for Battlefield 5. Do we like that?
I'll play that.
Eh.
I will play it.
I kind of like the more zany edge that they've put on it. Like you got to go one way or the other. I thought the Battlefield 1 was, it's a depressing subject. It's depressing more. But at the end of the day, you're making a multiplayer video game. There's no reason to ground it that much, I think.
Yeah.
So I do like. I certainly like all the customization and stuff like that. I could go either way in terms of the more colorful aesthetic and whatever else, but I do like customization in games, so that sounds good. Just sounds like they're improving things and getting rid of the loot boxes. That's a really good way to start your show if you're a company called Electronic Arts.
Battlefield seems
they moved on to
Battlefield's-
FIFA 19.
Battlefield's one that I prefer to play as like the campaign. Call of Duty, I prefer multiplayer. But then talking about loot box, talking about season pass, it sounds like Call of Duty is going to have a season pass, but only a season pass. You can't buy the DLC. Sorry, FIFA.
FIFA 19, yeah.
It's FIFA.
It's brought the Champions League to it now.
That's big.
Not sure if that's a big deal or
Yeah,
not.
it's not. I've never ever played the Champions League in FIFA. It's always called the Champions Cup, and it just looks really
It's the
generic.
First time they have it.
Yeah, it's because Konami used to have it, but I think Konami's just stopped playing video games now, so they've decided not to renew the contract. And I'll get this FIFA. I like FIFA. It's one of the just kind of games that you play for 7 hours without realizing.
Weirdly, in order to promote FIFA 19, and this kind of plays into the whole thing that FIFA never changes really. To promote FIFA 19, they've released a free trial of FIFA 18. That is what it is. That's cool, I guess, if you want to play the old FIFA game. And then they showed a trailer. I haven't got anything else to say about FIFA 19 unless you guys have.
I'm really happy
fuck
that this FIFA they've announced, because they've always brought out a World Cup special, like an actual game based on the World Cup, and this time it's a free update for FIFA 18. So if you've got FIFA 18, even on the Switch, you can get a World Cup update and you can like play the tournament instead of it as it like an extra free. I was thinking they could do it as a DLC. It would be great, but a free update's even better. So good for them.
With the World
If you
Cup
have one
one,
of
do they
them, you
just
have all of
skip
them.
a year?
Sorry, Jordan.
So with the World Cup one, would they not do FIFA 19, for instance? They would just call it FIFA World Cup.
Yeah, I think they called it FIFA World Cup 20 or FIFA World Cup Russia 2018. It would be called or whatever.
Okay.
What did you say, Mellum?
Sorry, Malum, go on.
No, I was just saying if you have one of them, you have all of them.
Yeah.
It's the same game.
They've updated the
All of
engine. I think it was the last FIFA 18. They updated to the Frostbite engine, which apparently made it a lot better. Except on the Switch, it was still the old engine on the Switch, which is the version I got.
Nice.
So hopefully it'll be Frostbite on this one.
They announced a streaming service, a cloud streaming service, across multiple devices. Not out yet. That was just them kind of putting that out there. I think we had a few announcements like that across the different companies. People are obviously starting to take cloud streaming quite seriously.
Except Apple will be
and
banning it.
looking to do the same. They then started talking about Origin Access Premier. So you get all new PC games. Madden NFL is back on PC for the first time in a decade. I'm not sure that was why. I guess that was on Origin
That
Access
baseball.
Premier, and they used that to announce it.
That baseball.
NFL, no, it's not baseball. Is it?
I
Is
don't know.
NFL buzz?
I've never. Is
National
that...
NFL,
Football,
it's,
National Football League.
Oh, okay, that's the pussy
Yeah.
rugby.
Is it Madden then? Madden.
Yes, Madden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's Madden? Is that a
Madden,
person?
John Madden.
John Madden.
No,
Yeah.
but Madden is the football games.
Was he like a coach or referee or something? Any Americans listening to this must be fucking going.
Like
wild.
FIFA. You know, FIFA. FIFA was Brian FIFA. Brian FIFA's football game.
FIFA's an acronym, not a name, though. Isn't it? You get access to the Vault. That's ominous.
Vault?
The Vault is a library of games from EA and other publishers.
Oh, I've
It's
seen
out
that.
in the
It's
summer.
just Planet vs Zombies.
$15 per month or $100 per year. So this is kind of this sounds kind of similar to what Xbox has done with the whole the Game Pass stuff.
Yeah.
They're trying to
and-
make the Netflix of games.
Yeah, totally.
PlayStation need to do that.
I'm really for that. If we can just take that really fast, because I'm like, if we're gonna get like one really good subscription, like Netflix with games,
Mhm.
it's gonna make people play so much different games, and it's gonna make like a series won't have that much impact anymore.
Yeah.
The diversity is gonna be so much. Yeah. So I'm really for it.
I hope Sony copy eventually. I know they probably won't. But it'd be great.
For it kind of in the long term, I just think we're gonna have some weird middling years where there's about 5 different subscription services for you to
Yeah.
like before Netflix was completely dominant. You had so many other ones that were trying to do the same thing. And I think I think eventually we'll get there. Whether that's good in terms of competition as a platform, I'm not sure. But then if it's quite like a neutral platform, i.e. like a Steam on PC is at the moment, potentially that could be good. But yeah, we'll just need to wait and see.
Would you imagine a
They
Steam
would-
subscription? That would be interesting.
I feel like I've already got that. I've got so many fucking games.
Humble.
So they really on the down low announced a new Respawn game, and it's the Star Wars game that we all knew kind of they were making.
Yeah.
Very typical EA announcement. We haven't got anything to show.
Yeah.
So, but they're going to call this Star Wars game Jedi Fallen Order. You play as a Jedi.
I don't know if I want to play
takes
as a
place
Jedi.
in what they call the Dark Times, which is kind of where the Jedis are being hunted. Between like the prequel trilogy and the OG trilogy. Should be out in holiday of next year. They showed us nothing. They just talked to some guy in the crowd about it. I'll believe that one when I see it.
Also, Knights of the Old
I just
Republic.
really
is-
hope it's gonna be like that you can choose between Dark Force and Light Force, and also maybe Gray. It's gonna be. I was really hoping for that.
Apparently, I was good because I was Knights of the Old Republic. I think one. I don't know if the second one did as well, but that got added to Xbox Game Pass. But I was looking, so I was just double checking whether Old Republic was actually getting closed down next year, but I couldn't find anything. But somebody was saying that there could be a new game set in that era coming out soon.
Yeah, potentially. So, like from a Star Wars canon point
Oh,
of
a
view, they haven't
movie.
recognized the Old Republic yet, but assumably they will because it's really beloved and it's set so far before all of the current Star Wars canon that it's quite a cool little playground for them to go and do some weird stuff. You'd assume they'll at some point they'll do it.
Yeah, just looking at it, it's actually a movie. Yeah, it's not a film. It's not a game right now, but there's apparently because of it being so popular, they're thinking that instead of having like an origin because of how badly Solo's performed, they're thinking about putting a new spin-off series, possibly with the Old Republic.
Yeah, the Game of Thrones guys are doing one.
Based on the Old Republic.
Well, they're making a series, and one of the theories is that potentially they'll do that era.
Oh, I hope so. That would be awesome.
Who are making the Star Wars movie? No, the Star Wars game.
This one is Respawn.
Respawn.
What should Respawn do? I'm gonna say Evolve, but it wasn't them, was it?
Let me check.
I'm not sure. But they made the other great, Titanfall. Yeah.
Of course, yeah. They're the ones that just were bought by EA, wasn't it?
Yeah, didn't Microsoft buy them?
Yeah.
Am I right in saying that? Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone went, oh no, was it? No, it was EA bought it.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's not.
that's right.
And then everyone was like, oh no, Titanfall 3 is going to be terrible. But there's also another.
They stayed on the Star Wars theme and they went on to Battlefront 2. They admitted it was shit.
Yeah.
They committed to improving it. They said there's some solo movie content, which everyone groaned. Some kind of squad system, a starfighter mode, because apparently the starfighting is pretty decent in the game.
I played that. It was alright.
Multiplayer sandbox mode for attacking command posts and taking capital ships. They're bringing Clone Wars content, which is one of the animated series.
Canon.
Yeah. New heroes and villains, General Grievous, Obi-Wan, Count Dooku, Anakin. Yeah, so they're trying to double down on the Battlefront 2 bit. It's pretty ironic, I think, because I reckon initially when they had Battlefront 2 kind of planned out, they probably only wanted it to be like on the market for a year, like get it out, sell a shitloads of copies, support it with a couple of DLC packs, get the loot box money, and then split and do Battlefront 3. But now they're having to like support it, even though the game didn't sell very well.
Yeah,
and isn't
might
like
just
critically
be like a publicity stunt.
Trying to save it.
Yeah, yes,
like No Man's Sky.
They need to do this, otherwise nobody's going to buy a Battlefront game again. They need to save this one before they can move on to anything else, I guess.
Do you think that they're going to release Battlefront 3 before this new Star Wars, whenever it comes out?
No, I think it looks like they're taking a leaf out of Ubisoft book where they're like, okay, let's try and turn the ship around, get people actually liking the game before we announce anything else. So no, I don't think you see another Battlefront game
till
before 2020.
Yeah, I think the next trilogy when that comes out, maybe. The film trilogy.
They then announced Unravel 2 as an EA original. There's co-op. They showed a demo trailer and then they gave the old "it's out right now." I couldn't give a shit about that. I didn't care about the first one. I don't care about this one.
I know I know somebody in the chat who was was super happy. Downloaded it, played it, finished it really quickly, and said, "Oh, that was short," but it is only €20. So,
what game?
Unravel 2.
Unravel.
Yeah, I liked the first one, but it got old quick.
It looked interesting, and I saw all the reviews were like 7s. I thought, well, I don't care. It doesn't.
It looked nice.
Yeah,
it had a good style.
I think it's. Is it online multiplayer? The second one.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think the multiplayer is the big thing with this one, and might be fun.
Yeah, well, maybe if you get it, we'll have a go. Yeah, it's getting kind of decent reviews actually. It's on about 8 to 8.5.
It's apparently a bit easier. It has like a easier gameplay, but it's just much more or something.
Oh, well, if you want to play,
if you
want to play it, Melum, you let me know and I'll go and get it.
Yeah,
€20, not bad.
So they then told us how successful A Way Out was for them. In terms
and everyone went, really?
Program. Yeah.
We were just talking about that earlier.
Sorry?
What's the main guy from the maker there?
Oh, the nuts.
He's probably there somewhere. They didn't have him on stage or anything. He was just the CEO or whatever.
Yeah.
This was really successful for us.
He's banned from TV.
I think they're scared to use him on stage now after the Oscar thing and everything.
I was watching the Giant Bomb highlights video yesterday, and it showed them when they were just pissing themselves laughing at that dude, at how crazy he was going. We need to finish that game. I hear the ending is good.
So they used that to talk about their new EA original, which is Sea of Solitude, artsy looking game. thematically based around loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently based on a real story. So despite being in a fantastical setting, this is the one where they got the dev out to talk about it, wasn't it? The German lady. About a young woman who's suffering from loneliness, becomes a monster. It's about finding out how that happened and trying to turn her human again. It should be coming out early 2019. The internet went wild for this one. I was on Halls at the time. So
on Halls, or were you watching
I watched the trailer? I thought
Taylor Swift?
I didn't think it looked all that good.
No, I didn't either. And it's the type of game that I really like.
I'm super hyped.
I'm getting Rhyme vibes.
It's just
and
one of
Rhyme.
those games. Like
a
I
game
know
that
the
speaks to
people.
me.
Yeah, I've just had one too many of those type of experiences, I guess. But yeah, I know they've got, like, some people fucking love them, but I don't know. I just don't want video games to talk to me about loneliness and depression anymore.
No, some people
Okay.
like. I mean, for me, Celeste was a great game with that, but I don't. It didn't interest me. It looked all right, but it's one of those that I don't know if it's gonna be. It's gonna be like a Rhyme, where I actually really enjoyed Rhyme, but I can see how people didn't, and this one doesn't grab me, especially on EA.
I just think it's interesting. It's like why I watched Castaway when I was little, was just because it's so interesting to see what people do when they're
Lonely.
alone over a long time.
That's called voyeurism, Melon.
Solitude. What?
He loves watching what people do when they're alone.
Third.
They talked a little bit about NBA and then Madden. We don't need to really talk about that.
NBA was such a disappointment. We were watching that on. We were streaming it, and people were going, "Oh my god, is it a new NBA Street? It's new NBA Street because they're playing NBA in the street." It was, oh no, it's NBA Live 19. All right, okay. No one cares.
They then unleashed this Command and Conquer Rivals, which is a mobile strategy game.
Yeah, that's a stupid fucking idea.
Yeah, we were watching that going, why are they spending
Retards.
20 minutes on this? 20 minutes.
Everybody
released a
wanted that
pre-alpha on
remake.
Android, and they showed a bit of a trailer. Then they shoutcasted an actual match. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. So yeah, that was their kind of penultimate thing.
They gave us enough time to talk about how terrible the conference was while that was going on. It's like, who cares about this? And then
they finished on a high, though. They finished with Anthem, as you can imagine. They gave us a new trailer. They said they're trying to merge story with open world multiplayer. It's a shared world, but bases and hub areas are single player. February 22nd, 2019. So that and as we go through these conferences, that date's going to come out a lot. They showed us various clips of gameplay, lots of concept art being shown, which is, for me, this is again classic EA. This game will not be coming out February 22nd, I promise you.
That's good, because there are loads of games around there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this game will be a few months after that, at least, if not maybe even in the latter half of
Maybe
2019. They're just saying that's coming out early next year, just for shareholders, I imagine, and just to get the finances up a little bit. But there's no way this game is going to be ready. Set a reminder and tell me I'm a dick if I'm wrong, but I'm convinced it won't be, especially when they start showing you concept art. Like, if you've got a game like this coming out within we're midway through 2018, if you've got the game coming out at the beginning of 2019, the Exodus guys are saying they finished their game and they're just polishing. A game like this, that's where you should be right now, not showing us concept art. And it just reminds me of the Mass Effect when they first announced Mass Effect Andromeda. They just showed loads of concept art and showed like the studio, and then 2 years later that game's out, and I'm like, you didn't spend any time on this fucking game. So yeah, we'll see. But it looks good. It looks fun. The suit is called a Javelin. There's 4 suit classes with different abilities, but you can change your suits. There's no loot boxes, no gameplay related microtransactions, but there will be cosmetic stuff, which I'm fine with. And you can play the game solo if you want to. They then did quite an impressive gameplay demo.
Solo in the
off
same
the show.
sense as Fallout 76, I wonder.
Sorry?
I wonder if it'll be solo in the same way as Fallout 76.
Yeah, it's one of those things where they said, look, we think you should play it in co-op, but you don't have to.
It's going to be like Destiny.
Yeah. Like, I'll go into this game as a solo game, and if people, I don't know whether it'll automatically match you up with people, or if they'll just be people kind of passively in your world, and I'll might play with you guys if you're playing it. But yeah, we'll see. There's another thing that makes me think this is going to be delayed. The studio have come out this week and said, oh well, initially they'd said there's no romancing options available in it, which looking at the game, why would there be? But BioWare games are known for that kind of stuff, so they've got a little, not they've had some questions around it. I know they come out and said, oh, maybe there will be. Now, if we're in June, new game is out in February, and it's a really ambitious AAA game like this, there's no way that you could have something like romance storylines not fleshed out yet, and there's no way that you wouldn't know that stuff isn't happening, I guess is what I'm saying. So like I said, I'm pretty sure this does not come out in February, unfortunately, because it looks really fucking cool.
I just feel like I don't want to see any more of this game. I just wanted to get done with it.
Yeah,
I want give it to us.
And just give us a good story. I really hope it's a good story.
If I was like making the E3 conference, I wouldn't even show it. I would like show the tease, like we're still doing it.
They needed something though, because they didn't have much else, and this was, this is their big game. This is their destiny. So I think a lot of people coming out of it were saying it feels like Iron Man to play, because it looks like Iron Man, and people have been really complimentary about, because people got hands on with this, people got to play it. So I'm not saying that this game is not anywhere near in a workable state. I think there's a lot of content that they need to build for it, and probably some those how those gameplay systems work together and how social stuff works together. That's the difficult thing to crack with these type of games. But people that have played it said that it handles really well. Flying feels cool as anything. Kind of, you can go underwater to cool your jets, and
nice.
You're shooting lasers and shit. You can't shoot while you're flying. In terms, like, you can stop and hover in the air and shoot, but you can't be flying full force and shoot at the same time, which is not great.
I think that's really good, because that means you can't like cheese through the game.
But it's not cheesing if you build the game around that concept. Like,
I understand, but it's clearly what's the word when just like Uncharted, you just follow a road.
Yeah, linear.
Yeah, really linear, and this strikes me as something linear but wants to be open world. So if you could like cheese it like that, it would destroy the gameplay.
I just hope there's a good story. Really hope it doesn't turn into a Destiny where the story is just really, no idea what's going on. And they also said about, I don't know if you said it, I was picking up the dog, but PvP is going to be possibly added after. It's not going to launch with PvP.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, PvP looks fun. I love PvP in that type of game. Kind of Titanfall, Destiny-esque. So we'll see.
Yeah. So for me, clearly the game of that show was Anthem. I don't know if you guys have got any other.
No, of course it's Anthem.
What were the other good ones possibly?
The Star Wars game they didn't show.
Oh yeah, Star Wars. I vote for Star Wars.
Okay. I'm more hyped for Star Wars, actually.
I'm more hyped for Star Wars. Yeah, I'm more hyped. If I had to play one of those games right now, it would be Star Wars.
But they didn't even show a picture of it.
Just the name. I don't think that counts. The game wasn't there.
Up to you. If you want to put Star Wars down.
No, the game was
on the title
before it's out.
No, I don't think it even counts because the game wasn't there. Like, just the name doesn't count.
Let's give it to Anthem.
Yeah, but it's a shit conference, I gotta say.
Yeah, what do we think of the conference? It
was boring.
I don't think that they
I have
necessarily...
a commentary in my notes, and it says EA is only business, and I fell asleep.
Yeah. It was all business.
I almost feel like they'd be better off just piggybacking on the Microsoft and Sony conferences and just really leaning on them, making kind of partnerships to say, okay, well, we've got Anthem, so Microsoft has got Anthem, and you're going to talk about this, and you'll have all the kind of trailer space and all that kind of stuff. And like, who wants to watch a fucking EA conference? And yeah, we know there's a new FIFA coming out. Who cares? Maybe it means something to them.
I commend them for being the only I commend them for being the only conference that didn't show a Kingdom Hearts trailer. I was very pleased with that.
Okay, that song though, so nice. Okay, moving on. So one of the biggies, Microsoft. Everything to gain, everything to lose. Microsoft, big conference for Microsoft, and my notes are very long, so bear with me. Okay, cool. So we kick off with something I'm very excited about. Again, I think this is not necessarily vaporware, but I think this is an example of smoke and mirrors. I don't think they know what Halo Infinite is. But what they did do was show us some kind of concept-y stuff, some pseudo in-engine stuff. And it's a game called Halo Infinite. Tonally, it was really good. It seems like it's moving back into more kind of Halo 1 to 3 territory, where there's this kind of sense of exploration and wonder, and simplifying it a little bit and concentrating on Master Chief instead of fucking, everybody else other than Master Chief. It's going to be on PC as well as Xbox. This will be the first, well, not the first time, but the first time that a Halo game launches on PC and Xbox simultaneously.
That's probably why it's not Halo 6, because they kind of want people that haven't Xbox want to like come into a fresh story.
I think
Also,
they need to conclude the story, because there's like the last game didn't kind of finish anything off, but it's a storyline that I don't give a shit about as well. So I'm quite comfortable for them to, maybe in the first hour of this new game, just tuck that stuff away and then start again.
But don't you think it would be weird to just buy, if it's said Halo 6 and that's the first Halo you ever played?
There's an element of that. I also think that they know that the trajectory of Halo isn't good right now. And since Halo 4, as much as like it's difficult to pick up from Bungie, and I think they've done as best as they can, but from a story perspective, those games just don't feel magical anymore. There was something to like the older games and the way that they felt, and the way that story was told and the character interaction between Master Chief and I forget the AI.
Cortana.
I remember.
Cortana, yeah. And they kind of
maybe
lost
the
that, and
Halo.
they introduced like a new alien race, and they're just not as cool as the Covenant. So I think they need to go back to basics. I think this is them admitting that, but also I don't think they've got a game to show. I think they just know they want to call it Halo Infinite, and they've got like a whiteboard of ideas.
I hope they make it like
was a
Destiny.
female protagonist, wasn't it?
I know it's Master Chief. They concentrate on Master Chief. I kind of feel like, as much as there's a big emphasis of this was that they're focusing on Master Chief. Now I think that the big focus for this game won't be on the story anyway. It'll be on the multiplayer aspect.
Yeah.
They're back on a Halo in that trailer. I could see this being some kind of games as a service shared world deal, but in Halo, which I'd be fucking well up for.
I Destiny 2 disappointed me, and it seems like Anthem and Halo might be the ones to replace it.
Yeah, that's really ironic.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then they said, we've got 50 games, 18 exclusives, and 15 world premieres. They kick off with Ori, Will of the Wisps. Now, we already knew about that game, didn't we? I believe. But they showed a trailer. Did we know about that? I feel like we did.
I think, yeah, because it was shown last year. But,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
So they just showed us some trailer and some gameplay. I still haven't finished that first one. I'll try and go back to it at some point, but it certainly doesn't hold a place in my heart. I don't know if you guys have got other thoughts on it.
I played it and I loved it. It's okay.
Is it difficult?
Really yeah, kind of. It is a Metroidvania game.
Yeah,
a really good one.
Lovely art design. I think it looks.
Yeah, I understood. It has such a good fingerprint. I understood what game it was the first 3 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
It's so, because it is beautiful and many games are beautiful, but you understood what game it was so fast, and then the music. Nothing. I don't know what to say. It's just so beautiful.
I think it's one of the few games in probably this and Sea of Thieves to an extent. It's one of the few games within Xbox's first party library right now that really has a sense of itself and a bit of soul to it. And like you said, you pick up straight away, oh, okay, that's Ori, because it doesn't feel or sound or look like anything else. So hopefully that one is as good as people want it to be. So big surprise then next, certainly for me as a From Software fan. So whereas Sony previously teased to us Shadows Die Twice, which a lot of people were assuming was potentially Bloodborne 2. No, fuck that. Microsoft turn up with the actual reveal of this game.
But it wasn't even at the Sony one, was it?
I thought it was. That's why people went straight to Bloodborne.
No, I mean, I thought it wasn't at like later when Sony did their conference. No. Just kind of shocking.
It's being published by Activision.
Yeah. What? Do you know why? Because it's a new. Is it Tenchu? They think it's a new Tenchu, which is From Software, Activision kind of Japanese stuff. JP in the chat, by the way, says, how long did it take to say that EA was garbage? Not very long. We were.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
They trailer with some gameplay. It's a fantasy samurai game, which it seems like there's a lot of those now. So obviously it's from Software, published by Activision. Third-person action game, obviously. Looks like a faster-paced Soul-style combat game with a new death mechanic. It's coming in 2019.
People referred it as vertical Dark Souls. There's
Mm.
lots of jumping and climbing and stuff.
Acrobatic
Yeah.
Bloodborne. It's yeah. I'm
that's-
so hyped.
So that is exciting. It seems like it is a bit of departure. It's not just the new Souls game. It seems a little bit different. Like I follow a lot of guys on YouTube and girls who are big into like all the Soul stuff, and they really break this stuff down. And this one does seem like quite a departure. It's not. They don't really see it necessarily as the new Souls game, but it could well be. But I do think this is them trying to do something a little bit different. Really move away from Dark Souls as a brand, because Bloodborne never really did that. It was kind of a reskinned Dark Souls.
I have mixed feelings about it because I really loved how it was, but yeah, but I think it's going to be good.
I've got full faith in them, and
Yeah, of course.
clearly they've got more money behind them than ever before. If Activision are publishing it, so yeah, I'm sure that'll be. What's really exciting about that one is whole new world, and they can think about the lore that they can write for that, and just all the weird little stories that they're gonna try and tell. I just love all that shit. Okay, so they moved then on to Fallout 76.
Yeah,
they confirmed it's a prequel to the other Fallout games, 4 times the size of Fallout 4, set in West Virginia. Showed a trailer. Showed various map locations. Pre-order will be available on June the 15th, so a few days later.
Oh, that's nice.
We should talk about it more under the Bethesda, maybe.
Yeah, totally. And they got Todd Howard out, who that's a big win for Xbox as well, to get him out and talk about the game, because it associates that game then with the Xbox brand. And I've noticed a lot of the marketing post E3 has been under the Xbox banner as well. So that's a good win for them. They then announced The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, which is set in the Life is Strange universe grown.
It's free.
Showed a trailer. Sorry?
It's free.
Yeah. To be downloaded free on June 26th. I have nothing to say about that one, unless you guys want to say anything about it.
Stay before my birthday.
It's the first time I've been just a bit interested in that kind of game. I felt like I saw myself, the nerdy little blonde boy, when I was little, playing by myself, just using the fantasy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably gonna play it, but
yeah, it's free, so why not? But yeah, I
got really nostalgic while watching it.
They then moved on to Crackdown 3, which is surprising because they only announced a delay like a week before E3. So the assumption was that Crackdown would be AWOL, but they did show it. Really good trailer, actually. It looked really strong. So had lots of gameplay in it. They announced February 2019, but I think we already knew that. And they announced that it'll be part of Game Pass, which they keep on announcing these things. And I get it, they need to reiterate that. But the way they announce it is as if that was unsure. We know that that's going to be on Game Pass because they've already announced that all their first-party output will be under Game Pass. But the way they do it is as if, and we're giving you this. And it's like, no, that's what I'm paying for. That's the whole reason why people have got these monthly subscriptions. Otherwise, why would they have them? But I digress. But that looked really cool. I thought the driving sections, like they were driving up walls, and there's a lot of craziness going on, which is the direction I think that game needs to go. I'm still not convinced it'll live up to people's expectations because they've got this nostalgic view of what the first game was, and those games don't work all that well anymore. But if they can recapture the magic or do something else, which is in some way as fun, hey ho. But it's just a long time coming, I guess. The expectations are pretty high for that one, considering the amount of time they're taking to fucking make it. Nier Automata was then announced as coming to Xbox.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was.
What did you call it?
Nier Automata?
Oh, I didn't. Oh, yeah.
Is it? Yeah, it's Automata. I think it's Automata.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't understand
Automata.
why it was. Because I thought it was for Microsoft also, but No, I
Yeah, it was
understand.
just on PC and PlayStation. It was very.
Yeah.
I don't think they expect to sell many copies in the West, to be honest. So it was very Japan centric, and we'll throw it
Yeah.
in the West as well. But obviously, it's become a bit of a thing.
Yeah.
So it's coming to Xbox, some DLC of her, and some kind of lingerie, of course. And June 26th. That's good. They moved on to Metro, new trailer with gameplay, showed gun customization, reminded me a little bit of Crisis. Coming up to February 22nd. Ding, 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 ding. Look really cool. Look really strong. It's another Metro game. Stylistically different to the previous ones because they're primarily set underground. This is above ground, a lot of it, with these big open spaces. But I
think it's going to be kind of like Wolfenstein, the gameplay, like in the first-person story, follow a road.
I guess the previous two were, so I'd assume it'll be a bit like that. I'm not sure how open it'll be, whether it's just kind of a pseudo open world game, and actually, it's fairly linear. It's a linear game just with wider spaces, but we'll see. Yeah. And then we move on to Kingdom Hearts 3.
First of
they mentioned that was the first time
appearances.
ever to be on Xbox. New trailer with gameplay, showed some locations, Frozen, Tangled, Wreck-It Ralph.
That was the first time we saw that Frozen was in the game.
Yeah. Hercules, Toy Story, Monsters Inc. We already knew this, but they reiterated it's January 29th, 2019.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I'm not into Kingdom Hearts yet. I own the other games.
I really want to get into it.
I might play them around Christmas time, maybe.
Yeah, I'm so curious of what it is.
Have you played any of the originals?
We can talk about it later, but now it is a package you can buy now with all the games on PlayStation 4.
I'm saving up money so I can get that, but it's like £90, but I really want that.
I own the 2 compilations anyway, so I just need to get 3, but I also need to play those compilations.
I got 1.5, so I'm gonna get the other one. 1.8, I think it's called.
And no, 2.8
but I want to talk about
2.5.
it more when we come to Square Enix.
Okay. They moved into Sea of Thieves, so it's a new trailer. For Forsaken Shores is some new content that's come in, and also Curse Sales DLC, which is coming in July. The Forsaken Shores stuff is coming in September, so just new content for that game. For me, they missed the point. It isn't necessarily about the new content. It's the mechanics that are fundamentally broken for me, especially the combat. They don't seem to be addressing that in any way. Hopefully they do, but it's new content for people that are still playing that. How is that doing, like on Twitch and stuff? Are people still going for it?
No.
Okay.
I can have a look.
I do worry for that game, and I think they could be in trouble unless that new DLC has got a lot of cool new stuff. But for me, I would love to go back and play those games. Like, with new content and stuff, I would happily go back. But they need, for me, and I know it seems a small thing, but they have to fix the melee combat for me. I can't play it. I hate it.
Yeah, I like the humor on when they showed it.
Yeah, it was cool. It was very self-referential, and like they know what they are. And it almost took the piss out of itself, I thought, which is good. Battlefield.
It's the 102nd highest watched game on Steam, below Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Outlast, and Doctor Who. BBC's Doctor Who.
Yeah, so not to dogpile that game, but
and
if you think about the whole thrust of it was, hey guys, we haven't got content because we want you to be social with it. If it's 100 odd on Twitch, I've got, like, they must be looking on. They kind of, all the stuff I've seen with the devs talking about, and stuff, they keep on talking about the success of Sea of Thieves. Now, I think what they're referring to is the amount of players that played it in the first week, but the game is free essentially in the first week. So yeah, a lot of people did play it. The same with State of Decay. They keep on talking about the success of State of Decay because X amount of people played it. Again, it was part of Game Pass. I can't imagine many people played that more than 2 hours. I
didn't buy the Sea of Thieves, and I turned off Game Pass now.
You've stopped playing.
It's nothing for me there.
I'm waiting for Forza, then I'll get it.
Yeah. Have a look. What's State of Decay 2 doing on Twitch?
Let's have a look. I wonder if it's
never seen it.
No, but I mean, it could be kind of high because people interested in, like, what is this game? State of Decay 2 is currently way lower than Sea of Thieves. It's between Pokemon Stadium and World Cup, whatever World Cup is.
So
And
when you say lower, as in it's a higher number. Like
there are
it's like
there
200.
are fewer viewers than people watching Bus Simulator 18.
So again, like I'll keep on going back to it. Microsoft did a brilliant PR job with this conference in terms of what they've got set. We'll talk about it at the end. Like I don't think they achieved what they needed to do here. I think they did just about enough, but it's not the knockout that they really needed with this stuff. I don't think they've got a lot of content that's coming out immediately. And to talk about the success of these fucking games, like Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2 are not successes. Like I would bet that a lot of people are in the same position as us. They might have paid for a month or two of Game Pass and then they cancelled it because there's nothing else coming out. But anyway, let's talk about what they did announce. So I didn't think I would ever be saying this to you guys. I'm really excited for a Forza Horizon game.
Yeah, me too.
I typically don't give a shit about any kind of Forza games. I like the odd racing game. I love Wipeout. I love probably more arcadey type racing games. MotorStorm I always used to like, and I used to have a bit of a thing for Gran Turismo as well. But
I like the Formula
Forza I
1
never really
ones.
give a shit. But they're setting it in the UK, and it's like this photorealistic, setting of driving around these fields and driving around Scotland and Yorkshire or wherever. And for me, I really like that. That's something that I can get behind. You don't often see. I think we talked about it on the actual stream of the E3 stuff. For somebody that lives in Britain, if a game is ever set in Britain, it tends to be London, and it tends to be the same cliched red bus, red telephone box, even though we don't use fucking telephones anymore. Whereas this is more like it's getting into the places that you don't actually see in Britain, like the countryside and other cities outside of fucking London. So for me, that's a big deal, and I'll happily play that. So they showed a trailer. Dynamic seasons, they're bigging up the fact that everybody that's playing online will have the same seasons in the same place, if that makes sense, and weather conditions and stuff. So if it's raining for me and I'm not playing in the same game as you, it's raining for you as well. I think they're probably bigging that up more than they need to. Different events based on the seasons. They showed airboats, dirt bikes. They did an on-stage gameplay demo, so shared open world with other players. 60 FPS mode on Xbox One X. Seamlessly enter co-op in game world. Like I said, you got seasons, time of day, weather, all synchronized to each player. It's out on October the 2nd. Again, they announced that it's going to be on Game Pass, as if we should cheer that when damn right it's going to be on Game Pass, otherwise you owe me a refund.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be getting Game Pass when that comes out. Finally get some use for my wheel that I bought for 230
I think
euros.
the way I'll use Game Pass, at least for now, is to demo games. And like, if I really like that game, I'll probably just buy it, just so I've got it. But yeah, it'll be a good way for me to make, get past those opening few hours and make sure it's something I actually care about, or am I just being a British person?
Yeah.
Okay. So then they went into the fact that they've bought new studios, and they just kept reeling them out. So they've set up this new studio called The Initiative. Everything I'm hearing about that is that they want that to be their top dog high-end studio with all their best talent, i.e. like a Naughty Dog equivalent. They've actually positioned it like it's within walking distance of the Naughty Dog studio. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they come out with. But if you're just setting up a studio, when you see in a game, and especially if it's a big AAA console pushing game, we're not talking about Xbox One, but we're talking midway through the next console cycle. So it's good that they're investing. That's exactly what they needed to do. But it's nothing that you can care about for the next few years. They then announced they bought Undead Labs because of the success of State of Decay 2. Microsoft Studios. Wow.
Most of these studios, I was like, oh, they don't own those. All right, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Playground Games that make some of the Forza games.
And maybe the new Fable. Maybe the new Fable. That's what people think they're going to be doing, the new Fable. From Forza to Fable. Can't wait for those photorealistic graphics.
Yeah, they did announce the Playground's working on something else, you're right. They then bought Ninja Theory, the guys behind Hellblade, which I don't rate, but I know a lot of people do. So I think realistically, out of those third parties, that was probably the one that actually means something. Because those guys can make a good-looking game. And if you inject some Microsoft money into them, they could do something really impressive. So yeah, I think that's a good get. And also Compulsion Games, who are making We Happy Few, which we'll see how that pans out.
Apparently, it's a lot better.
They're really good with trailers.
Really good with trailers, yeah. And the first 5 minutes of the game is fucking awesome, but the rest of it is terrible. Yeah, we'll see how that one pans out now that they've leaned more into the single player narrative element.
Yeah.
I'd really like to love that game, so we'll see. Cool.
Can
so
I
then,
just say, like, for the last 4 years, I guess 3 years on E3, Microsoft have every year been like, this is Xbox One, and we are a media console. It's not a gaming console.
Mm.
This is like, for me at least, this is the first time in a while they're finally back at gaming,
Yeah.
and
totally.
that's a really cool step.
It is
True.
It's yeah, totally.
Manny
That's
in the
what they
chat
need to
has,
do.
Manny in the chat says that they make Hellblade, but they also make Devil May Cry,
Okay.
No,
or the original.
That Team Ninja.
Okay.
Team Ninja, yeah, but then it just goes to Capcom. But the very first Devil May Cry was Team Ninja.
Yeah, but this is
Oh.
Ninja Theory.
Ninja Theory, sorry. Ninja Theory. Wasn't it Ninja Theory? Yeah, no, Ninja Theory. Sorry, Ninja Theory made the original Devil May Cry.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cool. They then went into We Happy Few. So they're giving you story trailer. They announced it's coming out on August the 10th. Like I said, I'll keep a really close eye on that one. I love the worlds that they've built. I like the kind of story stuff that they're doing, but when I played the early access stuff, a lot of it was a really janky survival game, which is not what I expected going into that. I was expecting like a BioShock type of experience. So we'll see in August. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, a trailer for it, and a new map tease for winter 2018. That is what it is.
Yeah.
Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. So showed a trailer for that. I think this is the
Looked
first
really
Western
cool.
release of that game.
Please, the weeabos.
It's coming this winter.
But
Yeah,
the
for the
Tales
weebs.
game has been out. There's so many Tales
I know,
games
but
on PlayStation Store.
But there's not one on but there's not one on the Switch yet. It just seems like a really cool game to have on the Switch. The Octopath is gonna, I think, fill my JRPG hole.
No, but it's like it's that series, and it's Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy. It's like the 3 big JRPGs. So it's cool. It looks cool. I never tried it. I want to try it.
So they then moved into the Division 2, which for me looked kind of just more of the same. Wasn't as ambitious as I wanted, but I still want to play it because I really like the Division. So they showed us a story trailer.
Also,
kind of
because Ubisoft announced on Twitter, this wasn't at E3, but they announced that they're releasing these things called shields, where it's like achievements that you can get in Division 1 that unlock some stuff in Division 1, but also it'll unlock some stuff in Division 2. So if you're interested in that, there's some stuff to do on Division 1 if you want to, hype yourself up in time for Division 2.
I'll definitely be doing another run through the Division before this game comes out.
Recommend it on PC. Runs really well and looks stunning. Yeah. Also, speaking of Division, because obviously I'm super, super hyped. I love the Division, but the aesthetic didn't seem as atmospheric as the first one. I love the first one being really kind of crowded with all the skyscrapers and buildings around you. And then there was a snowstorm and it was really dark and there was shadows and lights. It just looked stunning. Whereas this one I'm getting a bit of Ghost Recon vibes, with it all being a lot brighter. There's a lot of foliage for some reason in Washington. I don't know. I'm going to be...
You have to wait for Ubisoft.
Yeah, Ubisoft will make it better. I'll play it in a year. Oh, we'll move to... Yeah, I'll move to Ubisoft because there's something that they announced on the Ubisoft conference that sounds awesome. Two things, actually.
You're right. It doesn't look as distinct as the first game, which is weird because that game is it's set in New York, right?
Yeah.
And the most filmed and featured city in film and video games, but somehow they managed to kind of pull off a really unique style to it, and it's just hyper realistic, I guess. I think that this one looks a little bit more generic, but it's very much just more the same, like I said. Fast Start, which I never really understood what that is. They announced the Fast Start's coming in June Xbox update. Is that kind of with the PlayStation stuff where you can put your PlayStation to sleep and then keep the game state?
Sounds like that. Yeah. And you can start it really quickly or something.
Okay. And then they announced that Elder Scrolls Online, The Division, and Fallout 4 are coming to Game Pass today. I do like the stuff they're doing with the third parties.
Yeah.
That will make a big difference to Game Pass, especially with big titles like that.
Elder Scrolls Online.
That is the move towards making this a Netflix of video games. It can't just be the first party stuff, especially when the output is so abysmal at the moment. So yeah, getting big hitters like that in makes a difference. If you're a 14-year-old kid, you know, with no bank account, and you know your parents are only going to buy you one game, however many months or whatever, something like that, like makes a lot of sense. They've got The Division and Fallout 4, 2 massive games to tuck into.
If I had a kid, I'd be like, yeah, you're getting Game Pass, nothing else.
How do you think that works with, like, say for instance with, well, either all of those, all of those games have got like DLC. Are these just the base games that they're giving you?
I bet.
And if you wanted to play the DLC, how would that work? Could you buy the DLC but also play them with the Game Pass bit? I assume so.
Yeah, I imagine it's just the base that they give you, and then you can buy the DLC. But it's weird because if you then cancel it, then you've got the DLC but no game.
That's what I mean. It's a bit of a weird situation. But I think the way that it works is that whereas if you buy a game outright, they give you a license and there's no expiry date. I think the way that this stuff works is that they give you a license, but it's got like a rolling expiry date on it. So I guess it'll just be a case of, well, yeah, you own that DLC, but you haven't got the license for the main game now, which is it's a little bit weird. But
got Manny kicking off in the chat.
What's wrong with him?
That's right.
Nobody knows.
35 million what?
I can't remember what we were talking about when he said 35 million.
Don't know. So what was next? Just like a compilation trailer.
Have you talked about Jump Force?
Not yet. It was that was at this place, wasn't it? Yeah, we'll go on to that. Oh, they did Shadow of the Tomb Raider next. They'll give us a new trailer, September the 14th, but we already knew that. And I guess we'll talk about that in a different conference anyway. They then showed Session, which everyone thought was going to be Skate, but it wasn't. It was Session.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, wow, what?
But it seems like it's a spiritual success.
Why does everybody want Skate 4? Why is Session any bad? Or
I don't know. People have nostalgia for Skate. That's it, I think.
From what I know of Session now is that it's been like on Kickstarter or something for a while anyway, and the whole purpose of it being that they wanted to make a new Skate. So it basically is what people wanted. It's just not called Skate.
People would thought Skate was coming back, or Skate 4 was going to be announced, because they just recently opened the Skate 3 servers again, so people can play online. So they're like, oh, maybe that's because they're going to announce Skate 4, and they know there's going to be some interest in Skate 3, but seems like it's not. Apparently, Manny says it's because you said that Xbox sold abysmally, but it actually sold 35 million.
Just corrected him again. It's fine.
Did you? Third party output abysmal. Okay, there we go.
We didn't say the sales are abysmal, which they are relatively. So they then talked about Black Desert Online is coming to Xbox, which is cool. That's a sexy MMO. So we can see boobs and stuff. That's good. That's come out in the autumn.
When I watched the trailer, I thought it was like a single player thing for a little while, and I got really hyped. But then it was an MMO. I was just, I can't be bothered.
You should play Bless or not.
Then they talked about Devil May Cry 5, which is a surprise to have it at Xbox. This is again another one that they kind of want to show people that they're invested in games again. They've got a big kind of gamer game in Devil May Cry 5, and that's a big announcement as well. I don't think we knew officially that a Devil May Cry 5 was on the way, so they showed a trailer and some gameplay.
I thought we knew that. Do we not know that already? That Devil May Cry 5 was coming out? I thought we already knew.
No, I think this was the announcement.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's out spring of next year, and the directors came out on stage. Now, I was under the impression this is an exclusive, but I don't think it is. I think this is still multi-platform, right?
Yeah, there are a lot of ones I think might even be timed, but this one... No, they had a lot of exclusive premieres, and that was it. They kept saying, this is a premiere exclusive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently it's a big thing that Dante is back from the first games.
Yeah, they showed a bit of him at the end of the trailer. People seem excited about that. I know nothing about Devil May Cry, so
no, me neither.
But yeah, I had a grid of like what they'd announced after the conference, and this was down as an Xbox exclusive. But I've seen pre-orders on PlayStation as well, so I don't think it is.
Okay.
Cuphead DLC Cuphead: The Delicious Last Course.
I thought we were going
So
to
a new
get
character
2.
in the form of Ms. Chalice. New world, new weapons, coming out next year. Console launch exclusive, but obviously that's coming to PC as well. Then they talk about Tunic, which is that cool little Fox game. Showed a trailer with gameplay inspired by Zelda. Again, console launch exclusive. Steam is saying 2019. Jump Force. Bandai Namco looks like it's going to be kind of a brawler fighting game with loads of different anime characters. Got a 2019 release, but we didn't see any gameplay, just kind of cinematics.
Anime game.
No.
Are you excited about that one,
about that one, Melon?
Yeah, I got really hyped actually, and I love the aesthetics. Now,
Yeah.
like it's with shaders instead of, I don't know, anime style. I don't know. I got really hyped.
JP says
And I love anime.
Super Smash Wii Brawl.
Yeah, I had no idea who these people
No, me neither.
were. I recognize the Death Note people, but other than that, I had no idea. But yeah, that could be cool. So I'm guessing it's like a Smash Brothers type thing.
With weebs. For weebs.
Yeah, but we had no. It looks like it was set in New York for some reason. I don't know. It's gonna be fun, I guess. I just love anything anime. So yeah, cool.
Well,
A lot of question marks around that one, I guess. Okay,
well,
cool.
for
big
the
one me
hentai
then,
fans.
like, one of the games I really liked from this E3 was Dying Light 2. So they showed off a trailer. It's a new setting. They're calling it the modern Dark Ages. So basically, was it Turkey, the first one, I think? But it seems like society has just completely collapsed in this one. It's not just kind of like one city. Everything's fucked. A lot of player
What game
choice.
is this?
Dying Light 2.
Yeah.
This was like it could get me back
lot.
into Dying Light because I played the original on PS4 and it just ran kind of badly. It was just 30 FPS, but it was a super fast kind of what's it called, a parkour kind of game, and I was getting a headache.
Destroyed it for me, and it looked like it had the same HUD on the new one. It's too small.
Too small.
I don't mean the HUD, the view. No, how wide you could watch. Field of view. Yeah.
Can you not change it?
Is the name.
Not
on the console.
They showed a gameplay demo to show you kind of how that works, but it just looks. I just really like the look of it. I like the way the first game felt, how it played. I like the way the enemies come out at night and everything is really tough. Apparently, in this one, the world has been stripped bare, but in the kind of where the bad guys live, not the bad guys, but like the monsters live in there, there's still like loot to get. So there's a kind of a risk reward mechanism of going in to get that stuff, which I like the sound of. It just looked grim and dark and like really brutal. So yeah, I'm up for that one.
Yeah.
Looks good. They then announced Battletoads officially. So they're making a Battletoads game.
What the fuck?
I don't think Battletoads were a thing in the UK. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ben. Did we have Battletoads?
I've never heard of Battletoads. Is it like Frogger?
Yeah, it's just Battletoads is like the meme for me. No, Battletoads is like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ripoff, but like, and they did like the game was like a 2D,
freakishly hard.
Yeah, like a 2D brawling game. What do you call it? Like punch 'em up, I guess.
And with the original game,
Beat 'em up, yeah.
It was you could kill your friends while they play co-op, and that made it even more hard. So yeah, I hope it's not like that now.
It's basically just a meme come to life now, isn't it? So we'll see. We'll see how that one works out.
So what's the other one that goes inside a game? What was the other one? That mathematician game that was inside another game. What was that one called?
Oh, Frog Fractions?
Frog Factions, yeah. Frog Fractions.
They announced Just Cause 4, which was obviously leaked before the show.
That looks cool.
Showed a trailer. Still follows
Tornado.
Rico's.
That's it.
Just looks like
it's Just Cause 3 with a tornado.
Yeah, the tornadoes.
Really cool, actually. Like the tornado.
There's there's like sandstorms as well. It's like all about seasons and weather right now in these games.
Then did a whole thing around Gears, so they were trolling. They kind of made it look like a Gears game was about to be announced, but actually it was toys, some Funko Pop things, which I don't really understand what they are, and some kind of mobile game. And then they announced Gears Tactics, which is a PC strategy game. And I was really hoping after that announcement they wouldn't announce anything else because people would have gone fucking crazy. But they did. They announced Gears 5, which seems to be called Gears 5, not Gears of War 5. Am I wrong about that?
Nope, it's Gears 5. Apparently they wanted to do it with Gears 4, but they didn't. Now they
There's Kate, apparently. I have no idea who that is. And they showed a story trailer with some gameplay. There's some new enemy types. It's out in 2019. Obviously, it's on Windows 10 as well.
Gears.
Never
Gears
played
4
a
was.
Gears game.
Oh, they're shit. They're really bad. It's just kind of like.
Of course it is. It's the cover shooter, Ben.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Is it? Well, no, it ran really bad. It was just full of kind of let's kill him. And I'm like, I can't.
I would
shitty cover shooter.
I think this is a franchise in desperate need of a reboot if they're going to continue with it, and I think they should. Like the Gears of War name still really means something, and I think God of War shows you that you can have a license which feels run out and invest in it and refresh it and make it something that people are going to be excited about again. But I don't think calling it Gears 5 and setting it, carrying on the story of Gears 4. Like, who gives a shit about Gears 4? I don't think that's going to do it. But
is Gears 4
it's another
on Battle Pass, on Game Pass?
Seems so.
Oh, maybe Melon, we should do a co-op run through of it.
Like really technically proficient games, but just very of its era now. The first Gears of War was a long time ago. That was like the first game that impressed me on an Xbox 360. And I don't think they've moved along all that much since then. So yeah, I definitely think that's a franchise that needs a full reboot, not a sequel.
Cool. I think Sony made a game called Army of Two or something at the same time, and I love that game. It was amazing customization in that game. You could make whatever gun you ever wanted, and use it. And it had a really good story with co-op. Really great. That other game won for some reason.
And they then obviously finished on they called that the end of the saying that, no, let's not go on to Cyberpunk. So they just threw out a few fucking
have
few announcements.
No, we haven't talked about it.
They said that Microsoft AI is being developed to improve game AI, which is cool. They said they're working on a streaming network so the games can be played on any device. That's cool. And he also just threw out, and we're working on the next Xbox. Like that. That's good to know. And then they ended the show, but the lights went down. It looked like it was getting hacked, and they went into Cyberpunk and showed. I think anything of Cyberpunk is cool. I thought the trailer, like tonally, wasn't what I was expecting from Cyberpunk. I thought Cyberpunk would be a little bit dingier, but it was kind of a bit of an upbeat trailer. Felt a bit more like a GTA trailer to me than what I would expect for this. It's cool. It's Cyberpunk.
I saw it was
in
fresh.
engine.
I had no idea about it. I didn't know anything about. I haven't heard about it. So for me, it was like, wow, is the Witcher guys making a sci-fi game?
Yeah.
So yeah.
The trailer was in engine, which I was surprised. I assumed it was just totally like a CG trailer, but apparently not. It's in engine. It showed the main character. Yeah, but people have played this, so this was playable, and apparently it does look like that. So showed the main character, showed lots of city locations, showed driving, but no release date. And that was cool. That was cool enough. But since the conference has ended, a lot of people have played this. A lot of journalists have played it, and the response has been unanimously blown away by what they've seen with it. It's first person. Kind of plays a little bit like Deus Ex, but it sounds like it's going to give me what I wanted from Mass Effect Andromeda in terms of player choice, and just feeling fucking cool and doing cool things and having sex with cool people.
Oh, what's this we're talking about? Mass Effect?
Cyberpunk.
Cyberspunk, you mean?
Cyberpunk.
I'm.
So yeah, that was the Microsoft conference.
Did I miss the Cyberpunk stuff?
Yeah.
It's just all first person.
Totally.
Say that.
Isn't it third person? Like, is it first person?
Yeah.
First person.
And I really, at first I was like, oh, but then I realized why they're doing that. It's because the HUD is going to be what you see, and you can move chips like you do in Nier Automata and like see different things. It sounds awesome. And also there are going to be there are conversations and stuff like, and also The Witcher was very open world and open, whereas this is going to be like inside buildings and inside cars and stuff, which you can't really get in.
It's also a first person shooter. Like that's a large reason why they've done it. It's not gameplay.
But it
the
is an
combat
open
done.
world city, isn't it?
Yeah, but like you're gonna go into buildings and stuff, and in third person, it might cause them problems. They said when there's gonna be like conversations inside cars and inside vehicles. So yeah.
Madam, you should after the show, like go on YouTube and just listen to some people talking about what they played at E3. Because there's a decent sized demo that they've been able to play kind of off camera, and like I said, everybody is fucking blown away by this.
They think that it's gonna. They think that demo is gonna be coming to Gamescom, and everyone's gonna be able to play it, or we'll be able to see it in full, which is in like
I really
in
want to see
August.
that. It sounds so fucking cool.
I don't want to get spoiled.
Don't watch it.
Okay.
No, don't watch it.
Microsoft then. What was that game of that conference?
Cyberpunk.
It's difficult because coming out of the conference, I was like, cool, I know I'm going to love Cyberpunk, but that's a way off. And you've just shown me a teaser trailer. That's cool. But that isn't like coming that close.
all the fucking way.
Since the conference, because people have been hands-on with it, in a way now, yeah, that probably is potentially my game of the show from listening to people. But from this conference, like, I don't think that trailer really got me that buzz. Like I said, I was quite surprised by the tone of it. It felt like more like a GTA trailer than what I was expecting from the guys that made The Witcher in a cyberpunk world. I thought it'd be like a little bit more tense, a little grittier. And apparently the game is a bit more like that. The trailer isn't necessarily in line with the tone of the actual demo. What other game?
So what were the big games that they announced, you say, in that one?
Sekiro, for me, Shadow Die Twice, there's no competition. For me.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit sour that it's not Bloodborne 2.
What were the other games you said that were kind of either?
Dying Light 2 looked good. Like like for me personally, Halo Infinite is massive for me as a big kind of Halo fan. But again, didn't really show you anything, and that, like you won't see that for however many years. So difficult to get that pump because I can't stay excited that long. In terms of what we saw, for me, it's Dying Light 2. But
for me, it's
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
Probably split.
Yeah, they were split 3-3. I mean, I'm
on Sekiro. Ben, you're on Cyberpunk.
Yeah, and John's on Dying Light. Okay, we don't need to. Do we need to agree on one or?
No, I guess not. Should we just add them all? So Dying Light.
Yeah.
We're just doing it so we can at the end see what
rounds.
the game of the show is. So Dying Light. How do you even fucking spell Sekiro? I haven't. Sekiro. Sekiro?
Yeah. Sekiro. Yeah.
Dying Light, Sekiro, and Cyber.
I hate that it's the Shadows Die Twice part.
Why?
I despite it so much.
It's stupid.
So stupid name.
Shadows Die Twice. No, they're not alive. They're shadows.
So
It's a James Bond film.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
moving on to the
wouldn't
conference of the show.
care if it was a DLC called Shadows Dies Twice.
So I watched a really cool YouTube video with again somebody breaking that trailer down, and they reckon that maybe one of the changes to this game will be when you die, you don't actually die, you do get a second chance. So when you die, the enemies think that you're dead, and then the mechanic is that you can come back to life in some way and try to, I don't know whether you need to kill the person that killed you in order to come back to life or something like that. Maybe that's what that's.
Seems like you're a magical cyborg or something.
Yeah, you got a weird arm thing. Okay, cool. Square Enix. So this one, it was fucking awesome.
Was it Square Enix or was it when's Bethesda? Is that after? Oh, that was after. Yeah, that was after Square.
Am I right? Yeah. Okay.
No,
cool.
yeah, I think Square Enix first. Yeah.
Let's blast through Square because there's not a hell of a lot to talk about. They kicked off with Shadow of the Tomb Raider. They show more of that. I think that game looks good. It looks solid, but it also looks kind of average to me. I kind of feel sorry for those games and that developer because like all the last two of them have been so polished and like really surprising in terms of what they've managed to do with that license, considering where Tomb Raider was before they decided to make more of these games. But they just seem to get overshadowed every time they come out. And I will stick to. I don't give a fuck what Flighty says. I think Lara Croft is really shitty in these new games. She's got nothing to say. She's all she does is she's just really melodramatic. She's like, "Oh no, how will I get off this island? I hope my friends don't die." Fucking get some balls.
I played the first Tomb Raider and the second one, and I couldn't find a personality in either of them.
I love the first one. I haven't played the second one.
And I thought the second one's a lot better than the first. Well, like
very different. It's way more open, the second one, but Lara's still a dick.
I had the same problem with it, like I have it in Uncharted, that they get so freaking hurt and they kill 1 million people.
Yeah, and nothing happens.
Yeah, this is very much like that. And the problem is, like, she gets way more hurt than the Uncharted people do, and she doesn't necessarily kill more people, but the tone of the game is like, this isn't Indiana Jones. This is very much a gritty, action movie thing. Her life is very much in danger, and she could get raped at any second, and then she's killing people. I suppose they're a bit more evil. They're not just pirates. They're like, these are bad
but
people.
But it looks like it has a kind of good stealth for once.
The new one
looks
looks,
a lot.
This was a really bad gameplay trailer to show. Like, it looked decent, don't get me wrong, but it looked like something that you'd just pull off IGN of like a middle of a mission stuff. It's not something that you would think a publisher would say, right, this is the part of the game that we want to show to blow people away. It just seemed like, yeah, Tomb Raider's pretty, and this is the middle of a mission. Nothing that really blew my socks off, but hey ho.
Final Fantasy 14 if you think about it, it's an honest way to do it, because that's what you're gonna do most of the time of the game. So I totally agree with showing it. It's like the Sony does it.
But is that the reason why they did it, or was it just that they're inept? Because, like, I can't imagine they thought to themselves, "Oh, let's just be honest, and let's just clip a random 5 minutes from the middle of the game." I don't know. I was just surprised that was the bit that they showed, because if that's the most impressive bit that you can show me, do I really care about that game? Maybe not.
No, but it's like the fact. Don't you remember when they showed God of War last year? It wasn't the most impressive stuff. It was it showed you what you're actually doing.
But I think that was impressive in terms of, like, we know what God of War is, and it's this kind of, this guy just shouting and killing things, and there's no real, like, emotion to the game. And then that showed him with his kids. So I thought that was pretty good.
I get what you're saying. I just think it hit us differently.
I like the fact she rubs mud on herself like Predator. That's cool. Final Fantasy 14, they did a DLC trailer for Stormblood. They announced a patch called Under the Moonlight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, content patch.
And then the big thing was that Monster Hunter World is doing a crossover this summer. That's pretty big news.
Yeah, I mean, they do seem like they're in the same world. They've got the same aesthetic as well, as like art style. But I know Final Fantasy 14, I tried to get into it again recently, but I don't know if I can. Just everything, so much stuff to learn. Final Fantasy 14 is an amazing, amazing, amazing game if it's the only game you play. But as someone who switches it around like me, it's really difficult to try and have to get back into it every single time and try and work out what you're doing.
It's the problem with every MMO. There's so much content.
Like I've said, if for whatever reason I could only play one more game for the rest of the time, it'd be EVE Online.
Yeah, it would be for Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, if they said, okay, you're going into prison, something for a year, but you've got a computer with one game, I'd be like, okay, Final Fantasy 14. I still won't get to the end of this.
But no internet.
Mode. Yeah, I know. Ooh, Witcher 3.
What would you play if you didn't have the internet?
Probably Witcher 3.
Okay, good answer. They then did a bit of a deeper dive on the awesome adventures of Captain Campans. They showed a trailer. It's a completely new story, 100% free for all platforms. It's not Life is Strange 2, but it's a bit of an introduction to the world, which I don't get because we've had a whole season of games to introduce us to that world, but whatever.
But there's another one, isn't there? Isn't there another Don't Nod game that's similar, that's going to be a bit darker, that's set in the Life is Strange universe? There's like another one that they're doing. I swear.
Apparently this will introduce some of the characters from the next season of Life is Strange. The main character's called Chris, I think.
Captain.
Yeah, it looks like Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's right. It's the other one's called Twin Mirror, which we saw in Sony, I want to say. No, where do we see Twin Mirror?
I don't know.
Twin Mirror.
Twin Mirror is the other Don't Nod game that they're doing. It was on. It was in the PlayStation one.
Youngblood.
It's just called Twin Mirror. It's the creator Life is Strange. It was on it was on the PS4 thing. It looks really cool, but a bit darker.
They then went into Dragon Quest 11. Again, showed a trailer. It looks like more Dragon Quests. Showed some characters. It's out in September. I have no idea if I like Dragon Quest or not. Never played one.
I have never tried it. It
Maybe
looks
I'll
Me
give this
neither.
one a go.
Dragon Quest
Apparently,
Builders was good.
Dragon Quest 9 is one of the best games ever made. People say.
Cool. Then they had something called Babylon's Fall, which is like a JRPG.
I got no, we don't know. We can't say.
Oh no, it was
anything.
it's Platinum Games, wasn't it? So it was like an
Yeah.
action combat
But,
game. That's right.
Yeah, Platinum Games. But we have they showed like a lot of lore, which nobody knows anything about. So yeah, it was. I got really hyped for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Need to see some gameplay.
And
PS4 and
Platinum
PC
games are
only,
awesome.
out in 2019. So we'll see how that one shapes up. They replugged that Nia is coming to Xbox in June or this month. Then Octopath Traveler, yay! Showed a trailer, went over the names of the classes.
Didn't even see it.
They announced the name of like the world is Ostera, and they announced that it's out on July 13th, only on Switch. I'm pretty sure they announced. Did they announce the demo here as well?
I don't know.
I didn't catch that game at all. I don't know. Was it right after Babylon or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, after
'cause I
Nia.
was just-
After Nia.
After Nier, okay.
Like it's been announced for a while, and it's such like it's just the art style is so distinct. I think I was worried it'd be style over substance, but playing that demo, I'm so fucking in. I want to know what you think of it as well.
Yeah, I'm
so
going to be
let me know.
streaming that later if anybody
Yep.
wants to watch.
I'm gonna play it tonight.
They went into a bit of detail on Just Cause 4. I don't really need to.
I
talk
like
about
the
that, but
look
there's
of it. It just
hurricane
looks.
storms and-
It looks a lot less kind of. Well, not goofy in like a bad way. It looks kind of fun and a bit dark and gritty and realistic. I just love the look of this one. It's a bit darker. Last one
It
was
looks completely the same as Just Cause 4, not 3.
because
They-
three felt like a
there's a thing you
Tropico
can
style
set
game.
apart to make them float and stuff. So they're just adding to that sandbox really, and good for them. They obviously sold enough for the third game to make
Yeah.
another one, which I didn't expect. So
The third one just
fair
looked a bit. The third one was like very Tropico kind of style, whereas this is more. This is like as if that was a Far Cry 3. This is more of a Far Cry 4. Not Far Cry. Uncharted 4. It's a little bit darker, a little bit more realistic, added effects, which look great.
Yeah. They then announced something called The Quiet Man.
I got
which is like this
so-
weird live action trailer.
And that means Square Enix had actually 2 new IPs this year.
So
That's kind of cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
The Quiet Man. That was the weird one where they were fighting people in a.
it was like the live action that went into computer generated and back out. I hated
The
it.
main
I
guy is
don't know what this
pretty
game is, but like the whole thing, I didn't like. So I don't know. Maybe when they actually show us what the gameplay is like, I'll like it. But yeah, going from live action into a game engine and back out, I didn't dig that at all.
Flighty was like, yeah,
I
that's
think
yeah,
it's going to
one
be a
PC
cool
only.
gimmick with the main guy being deaf, and they probably going to do something with the sound that's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe. Interesting that this one is PS4 and PC only as well. So the 2 new IPs had just come into PS4 and PC, not Xbox. And then they finished with Kingdom Hearts 3. So pretty much the same trailer as Microsoft conference. They announced that it's January 29th, but we already knew that, and then no further information. So why they shot their load on Microsoft, I don't know.
Yeah.
If they cared about this conference, but then why would they? Why again? For me, don't have this conference. Put all this stuff into the platform.
It wasn't
holders'
even it was like a direct video, wasn't it? Like 30 minutes or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, so it's low investment, I guess, but still, like if you want those big pops, just save them for the platform.
I
holders.
loved this conference because it was really, really fast. It was only about showing games.
Mm.
It was 15 minutes of all this stuff, and it had 2 new IPs.
Yeah,
I think that Square Enix had one. I think they really got something out of this.
What's our game of the show then? if it's so good.
No, yeah, okay.
I must
But,
be just
how
watching a different one because
snappy
I thought it was
and,
really
Yeah,
boring.
I know it's like the Nintendo ones. But what is
Yeah.
your what's your game coming out of the Square?
What are
For
they
me,
are
it's
again?
Octopath actually.
Oh yeah, me too.
yeah, I didn't even notice it the first time I saw it. So
That's how fast it was.
for me, I'm just really hyped on Babylon, but it's gonna win anyway. So
On what?
Put down Babylon's Fall, yeah.
Oh, on 4, yeah.
yeah, but your game won anyway, didn't you guys say?
We can put both down, can't we?
Yeah, like I said, this is just making a rank for the ending. We can
Okay.
just decide at the end. Cool. So moving on to Bethesda. Weird conference list. Started off with fucking Andrew WK. What the fuck? But that was kind of. I think this would have been more successful if we didn't already know everything about Rage 2. It would have been.
I didn't know
more
anything, and I was really hyped of Rage 2.
Yeah, because like it got leaked, we knew it was coming, and then they released trailers and stuff. So I think, like the way they presented it, like you had Andrew WK coming out, he starts singing. There's loads of weird shit going on the screen, and then like it's only a few minutes in that it actually pops up Rage 2. So like that would have been a big surprise because nobody's expecting that, but obviously we already knew about it, so it kind of fell really flat. But they couldn't help that, I guess.
Yeah, I know it was cringy that bit, but it looks kind of fun though.
So it's
Couldn't
from
even
Avalanche
Bethesda
Night.
lost this year.
They didn't just show a trailer, they showed gameplay. I from a gameplay perspective, I think this looks really cool, looks really solid. I kind of want to play it. I don't like the kind of goofy apocalypse stuff. Reminds me a little bit too much of
Mad Max.
Borderlands. Yes, thank you. So yeah, hopefully that stuff isn't too much. But we'll see. The combat reminds me a little bit of Doom, which is good. It's a good thing to remind me of combat wise. But yeah, I'll be interested to see kind of how robust the multiplayer stuff is on that.
The shotgun looks amazing.
Yeah, totally. They then announced Elder Scrolls Legends, which is a card game. Well, we already knew about this, didn't we? But they talked about it, I guess. So Elder Scrolls Legends, being relaunched with updated visuals on PC and mobile. It's coming to Switch, PS4, and Xbox One later in the year, and they give a bit of a trailer. I've got nothing to say about that unless you guys have. It's a card game.
Nope.
They talked about Elder Scrolls Online. There's going to be a Wolf Hunter Dungeon DLC, which is based on werewolves. Black Marsh is to be a new area. And a trailer that recapped the main stories from Elder Scrolls Online. So that thing is still ticking on. Seems to be gathering pace. People seem to like that game now.
Yeah, it's
Still
improved
not a
apparently.
WoW killer like it was announced as.
No. It seems to have some kind of momentum to it.
It is first person like the other games, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is
So
it?
that's kind of cool. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it is.
So that's kind of cool for an MMO.
Talking of cool, they then announced Doom Eternal, which is the sequel to 2016's Doom.
Yes, I'm
Fuck
looking forward to
yeah.
that. Why is it called
That's
Doom
cool as
Eternal?
That was a freaking. Yeah, it was a little tease.
Yeah, but it was
They
cool.
didn't show shit.
No, I want to see
It's
more.
Hell on Earth, which is typically what they do with Doom 2, so that's awesome. They then talked about Quake Champions, which I still don't really understand what that is.
People have been playing this quite a lot, and it's supposedly Melum, you were telling me about Dogfin who's been playing it. People are annoyed that there are classes.
It's Quake with classes, so it's ruined. It's an unbalanced arena shooter, which is everything the first 3 games wasn't. That was balanced because everybody was on the same, started with the same thing. You just have to learn the map. That's the only thing with Quake, and be fast. But this game ruined it for very many.
Yeah, food is here. I'll play it to my cam off for a sec while I eat. But dog's going crazy. What's the next game?
The next game is Prey, so they decided to give some love to their kind of existing games. They talked a hell of a lot about Prey. New Game Plus, which I always said that game is begging for. A survival mode, which basically just makes the game a lot harder, and a story mode. Story mode makes the game a lot easier then, so that's like a narrative mode. They also did a trailer for the new DLC called Moon Crash, which was available that day. It's kind of like a procedurally generated game that you can potentially just replay as much as you want. So that's cool. another update called Typhon Hunter, which is like a multiplayer thing that's coming in the summer. It's like a hide and seek type game. You basically use the mimic mechanic in the game to like hide from other players, and also they're going to add VR along with that update. So that's pretty cool. I didn't expect them to support Prey as much as they have. That's nice. They then went on to
That's
Wolfenstein.
very smart, by the way. The multiplayer Prey.
Yeah, it's cool. Wolfenstein, then they announced Youngblood DLC. You can play it solo or co-op. It follows, I guess, BJ's daughters, is it?
Yeah, one of them.
Well, if you play co-op, it's both.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
and it's coming out next year. You hyped about that, Melon?
Yeah, kind of am. But I got a little depressed because another guy said that I was kind of hoping that the war was over when these girls got AIDS.
It's a weird one because it goes to the 80s, doesn't it? And like, so it kind of undermines anything that can happen in the third game, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of does.
If this is the canon.
So yeah, weird. But other than that, I'm really hyped about the gameplay because they fucking nailed that.
Yes. Cool. They then announced a VR Wolfenstein game called Cyberpilot. Play as a hacker. I don't really know what that was about. I like how much they're supporting VR though. They're not necessarily doing big kind of budget games, but they're doing small things and experimenting, which is what we need. So that is good. They then did some boring Skyrim skit about how you can get Skyrim on Alexa and all this kind of stuff. We don't care about that. But then they went into Fallout 76, which is why we're all here. They confirmed West Virginia. They confirmed there's a prequel to all the other Fallout games. They showed the same trailer from Microsoft, but then they went on a deep dive. So Vault 76 was built to celebrate America's tercentenary.
Okay.
The player was one of the first dwellers who was waiting for Reclamation Day for 25 years. They showed a gameplay demo. Yeah, this is the earliest game in the canon. Shows snippets from the beginning of the game. They show like a new weather system that they have, so you can kind of see weather off in the distance. There's 6 distinct regions, new creatures, can film multiplayer. It's entirely online. You have to play this game online. You can play it solo, but if you're playing solo, you will be online and you'll potentially see other random people. There's a focus on the survival element. It's not as hardcore as like other survival games. They call it softcore survival.
Okay.
The character isn't tied to a single server.
Yeah. You don't want it to be a...
No, definitely not.
No.
Yeah, it's more like palatable. We're talking like dozens in terms of server size. You're not talking hundreds or anything like that. You could potentially have like dozens of people. They haven't finalized a figure, but that gives you a sense of how many people you'd expect to be there. And if you think the map is 4 times the size of Fallout, that sounds about right in terms of encountering player and player density.
You can't keep meeting people all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
That will be weird.
You can attack other players. You can build wherever you want. You don't have to just build in certain places. You'll need to protect your built areas from enemies. There are nuclear missile sites that you can fight over and then use on areas of the map. It's dedicated servers. They're going to do a beta to prepare for launch, but they didn't say when or where they'll be doing that. And they talked about some pre-order stuff, but then the biggie was that's coming out on November the 14th. I'm fucking well up for that. There's all this bullshit online about it's multiplayer. Like, this isn't the new core Fallout game. This is a spin-off Fallout game in a survival setting.
Just look at it like a bonus.
I'm back.
Yeah, if you don't want to play it, don't play it. It's not gonna, like, this isn't going to have any kind of impact on whether or not you get a new Fallout game.
Fallout.
So yeah, I'm well up for it, and I think that engine was so good for the 4th game. Like, everything was really good about the 4th game, but they just concentrated way too much on combat as a solution to missions and problems. And I think it's really cool that this one will, they had all this survival stuff in 4, and it was kind of like, why is it there? Because you can build like bases and stuff, but this isn't an online game. So if you do that, the game isn't dynamic enough to make that worthwhile. But with this being a fully online game, that stuff makes all the sense in the world now. So I'm totally pumped for it.
I'm still here. I'm
on
just
to
gonna.
Fallout Shelter.
I'm still here. I'm just
Go
gonna
on.
eat because I'm
Okay.
starving. I haven't eaten yet.
They then announced
Yeah.
the Fallout Shelter's coming to PS4 and Switch, still free and
I'm
releasing
gonna
the
play
same
it on
day.
Switch. I played this
Uh,
game
Yeah, it's on Switch right now. It's really good.
a billion times about now, I think.
They then announced Elder Scrolls Blades, which seems quite ambitious. It's basically a mobile Elder Scrolls game, but it will be coming to like PC and consoles, and you'll be able to play across all of them. They're even thinking VR for it. It's kind of like a roguelike dungeon crawler. It's got an arena mode. It's one-on-one combat with other players. It's a weird one. I need to get my hands on this to see if I give a shit about it or not. But like I said, it seems quite ambitious for a mobile game.
People have said it's actually quite good. It's better than for a mobile game. It's better than they were expecting.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's good. Again, that's what I mean is that I need to get my hands on it because it might be impressive for a mobile game, but is this something I want to play myself? I'm not sure. That combat looked really fucking janky and annoying, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Then the biggie, they started closing up the show, but Starfield was announced. It's a sci-fi setting, single player, a little teaser trailer, and it's coming next gen. So this was clearly marked out as a game that you will not be playing on your PS4 Pro. Which is cool, but we didn't really see anything. But it's been confirmed, and that's been such a long rumor for Bethesda that it's kind of good to get confirmation and just to start the ball rolling on. Okay, cool. This is the next. This is basically the sequel to Skyrim in my mind. This will be the next jump in terms of that engine and type of games, and I can't wait. But I'm not that excited right now because it feels so far away. It's one of those, and we haven't seen anything. Like if we saw gameplay, I might get a little bit excited, but
I got a
right
bit
now,
bummed out with boats. Yeah, I can take it later, by the way.
now they should have ended it there. That's enough. I think that's a cool confirmation. But for some really fucking weird reason, they decided to confirm Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, that's the thing
really
I got
short
bummed about.
teaser trailer. Again, they said that this is after Starfield, so this is a long way away. I have no idea why they announced this game. They didn't even have even if they gave a subtitle for it, at least that lets people start to kind of think about, right, where's this going to be? Now, obviously, you've already got Reddit and stuff trying to work it out. I think they think it's Hammerfell or something, but until that's officially confirmed, what's the point? Yeah, I think the Starfield
I
is
have
enough
in
to
my
end
notes
on.
there. It's Doom tease, Starfield confirmation tease,
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls 6 not even in tease.
Yeah, it's like as if they weren't working on it, and I think it kind of undermines all the work that they're doing on the Elder Scrolls Online. Like I think we've all got quite comfortable with the fact that we're not seeing another Skyrim because they've got Elder Scrolls Online and they'll get around to it at a later point. And I don't think anyone's complaining about that, especially when we're getting games like Fallout 76, and we now know that Starfield is on the horizon. Like they definitely did need to talk about this.
And we did this year. We did get a new Skyrim Fuck You edition.
I'm playing Skyrim on the Switch like right now. Not right now, but like that is one of the games I'm actively playing, so I'm part of the problem.
On Alexia, wasn't that the last one?
Yeah. Can't get that in the UK, unfortunately. So for me, Bethesda was Fallout 76. Like, and I'm sure I'll like put it this way: if I could play any of these games right now, it would be Starfield. But in practical terms, actually, it probably would be Starfield, or maybe it'd be Elder Scrolls 6. I don't know. But regardless, they're years away, and I can't bear to be excited about them. So for me, it's Fallout 76 because it's out this year. What about you guys? Any disagreements with that, or any other games you want to add?
If they'd shown more of Doom, I think I'd have gone for Doom, but they didn't show anything.
Doom, yeah. Okay. So
But
Fallout?
I'm a little disappointed in myself that I got so hyped when I saw Starfield because it was actually nothing. But Starfield is the thing I got most hyped about.
Yeah, but at least it's announced. Like we knew they were doing an Elder Scrolls 6. Obviously they are, but at least we now know that is the direction they're taking those games.
I also want to nominate Fallout 76.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. It'd be interesting. They're doing private servers as well. I don't know if you mentioned it, but that could be really cool, especially in the streaming community.
Yes, I did. Yeah, all dedicated servers. Okay, so it's UB next. I really need a
you
Wii,
can
so I'm
get
drinking beer.
you can get custom servers as well. You can like host a server, get your friends in.
Okay.
Can we
have a
take
Wii before
a
we get
2-minute
into
break
Ubisoft?
maybe if everybody needs to pee?
Yeah, you guys keep talking. I'm gonna go Wii.
Go in. All right. Well, I'll just sit here and.
Yeah, but I need to too.
Okay. Are you going
Can we
pee?
take a 2-minute break, or do you want to keep on?
Yeah, sure. No, I'll. I don't have a BRB sign. Let me go. We'll go back to the going live screen for 2 minutes, and I'll cut this out when I'm editing it.
Yeah. Awesome.
Wait a minute.
Welcome. You are now listening to Click Click.
Oh, there we go. And we're back.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys. Hey, FIFA, what's happening now? It was just a quick break because this is a super long podcast today, so they needed a PP break. Swirls in the chat, by the way, says it's so cool there'll be private servers for Fallout. It opens up so much fun content creators to semi-script things. Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to have like a role-playing server. Get people to like players, traders, or whatever, stuff like that. Yeah, I'm up for that. Hello, Mrs. Jordan. I don't think she probably likes being called that. But... Oh wait, I actually can't see me.
Are you waving to yourself?
I'm just waving to the screen. Yeah, everybody wave in the chat.
She's gone. She's filling my pint.
Wow, Ulrich,
So
well trained so quickly.
Just to reiterate, for EA, we had it down as Anthem as the clear winner.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft, we were split between Dying Light, Sekiro, and Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Square, Octopath, and Babylon's Fall.
Mm-hmm.
And not to be confused with Babylon 5. And Bethesda unanimously Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Now we move into Ubisoft.
Yeah, my favorite. Oh, I'm gonna have to let my food go cold for a minute.
Yeah, big conference. This loads of cool, really like in-depth looks at games. A lot of people saying that this was the best conference, certainly the best of the non-platform holders, I would say. Ubisoft.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's
So I'll kick off. They did some fucking psychedelic, really gay Just Dance intro.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Melum and I will be playing that when it's released.
As a criticism there, it was really gay.
Well, I loved
good
it.
for them. So
Yeah.
Just Dance, I'm assuming that still does big money.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure Just Dance. I think I said it during the conference, but like Just Dance 2017, I believe, was released on the Wii, like the original Wii.
Yeah.
It just came out on.
It's one of those. It's like
everything.
It used to be like that on with the PS2. Like they would still release like FIFA on PS2 years after. You would have thought nobody's playing on PS2 anymore, but there's so many of them out in the wild. It's worth doing. Cool. So that's coming in October. If anybody cares about that, they then went really in depth with Beyond Good and Evil 2. Like a really nice
look at that
CG trailer. Seems like a really ambitious game.
Ubisoft is the best at cinematics. It's
best
like
at games
Blizzard
as well.
And Ubisoft, they're fucking kings when it comes to that. It blew me away.
Also, the people who are writing Beyond Good and Evil 2 are pretty like big, like really good. They've got a good track record. And by the way, Hilly, thank you so much to the host. We don't have any alerts because we're recording this for iTunes and stuff, but thank you very much. See, yeah,
So-
Beyond Good and Evil 2. Are you excited about that?
I've never really played the first game, so I don't have the hype for it. But this wasn't what I was expecting. Like the first game is like a third person narrative based combat-y platformery thing, right?
I'm never gonna play it, I think.
The original? No, I heard the
Yeah.
original was bad.
This one seems like a No Man's Sky type game.
From what
From what I
I've
can tell.
heard, it's like GTA in space. And it's
So it's
like
like-
it's more planets, so
just
it's
like-
kind of like No Man's Sky as well.
I'm getting Jack.
You don't
2
play as the people
vibes.
from Beyond Good and Evil, do you? You create a character, I think.
I think so, but I have no idea.
Did you ever
Yeah.
play Jack,
Okay, seems
the
crazy.
sequel to Jack and Daxter? Where they kind of made it kind of a spacey GTA. I was getting vibes of
Yeah.
that. That looks cool. It's coming to
So-
this generation of consoles as well. I thought it was going to be next gen because it looked so amazing.
Yeah, I don't think you see this on your PS4.
No, I heard it will be.
No. I don't think they confirmed anything at this, and that game did not look anywhere near complete. They're asking people to make it, so
You remember the gameplay they showed last year? Apparently,
Mm.
if you turn the angle of the camera like 1 degree, it would look so rubbish.
Yeah, there's nothing.
It was like they made it just so it looked good for the gameplay trailer. So,
Yeah, looked awesome.
but the big announcement this year is Jade.
Who?
The main character from the first game.
why wouldn't
Uh,
she be back? If she's the
Yep.
main character.
No, but this is a prequel, so it's before that, and she's the bad
Right.
one. She's the villain.
Wow.
Yes,
I just don't
peop-
know.
people
I don't
got
understand.
so hyped. I don't know the story, but I got intrigued at least. It was it's cool. They
Mm.
It is-
clearly have
yeah.
some fun story with this one.
Like I said, it looks really ambitious. Apparently, you can play co-op or alone. They're doing fan art contributions for art, music, ideas, etc., that could get put into the game.
And they'll pay you for
Joseph
it.
Gordon-Levitt just decided to come on stage because he's working with his company's kind of working alongside them. Contributors will get paid apparently. You can submit to his website things that you want to do. They didn't give a release date. I don't think you see that until 2022.
Yeah.
But
But like I said, I'm sure somebody said. I remember it was Giant Bomb. I think I was watching their coverage of it, and they said that it's one of them spoke to a developer, and they said, yeah, they're aiming for this generation of consoles.
yeah, they gotta say that. Not true. It's like Anthem's aiming for February, so it's not true. Rainbow Six Siege. Ben, do you want to take this one? You probably know more about that than I
Um,
would.
There's Melon who's played 150 hours of it. Yeah, they're
More.
keeping adding stuff to Rainbow Six Siege. It's great. I was playing a bit last night after a few drinks. Don't recommend that. It's not a good game to play after a drink because it's such a precise. There's a new update right now, but I can't remember what they were showing on the Ubisoft conference. Probably just saying, "Hey, we're gonna release some more stuff, so download it because it's gonna be free." And everyone went, "Oh, okay, great, I will." But it's still for that game, like from when it was launched to now. I mean, I would keep mentioning it, but it's done very well. And I've heard that there are going to be 100 operators by the time that they've finished with it. And at the moment, there are only 30, 35. So it's got a long way to go.
Yeah,
And just
like I said,
because
we
I
mentioned it a
don't
lot.
like it, it's a really well-made game. It's a good game.
It's just cool how they're still supporting this stuff, and you'll see this throughout this conference. They're supporting older games.
Hilly in the chat said
they
Rainbow Six and
then-
E3 was just bragging how many people play it. Yeah.
They then announced a new Trials game, so that's cool. I like Trials, so I'll probably play that one.
And the way they did it,
With that dude, that was so
the guys
cringy.
grabbing bike. So that's cool. New
President of
Trials game. It's coming on Switch as well, so I think that's perfect for the Switch. So so I'll probably play that on the Switch. That's good.
I didn't catch that, but that's awesome news.
Yeah, I didn't
Yep,
hear that
Switch. Yep. Division 2, we kind of already talked about what we need to talk about there. They did talk about raids. I think that was in this conference. So 8-player raids.
And 8-player raids
years of
and
frequent content updates. All the updates will be free. That's good.
And they're going to be classes as well, which I think is so amazing because they used to have special builds where end game stuff you'd build whatever you want. So you'd get like a tank build or builds that are really cool in certain areas, and they're probably going to keep that. But the fact that then you're going to have, you'll have your class as a tank or as a ranged, or I don't know what the other ones
It's
were.
gonna be like Destiny that you have 3 characters each.
I'll be up for that.
I won't. March 15th. I'm not sure if they'd already said that prior to this kind of this conference, but yeah, March 15th for the Division 2.
Yeah.
I'm really up for that game. Love the first one. Like I said, we already talked about it earlier, but this was just a little bit more in depth. And the really cool thing coming out of this one was just they showed the plans for the post support content and the fact that it's all free. It just shows that change in the zeitgeist due to Battlefront 2, where devs and publishers are just desperate to tell you there's no fucking loot boxes and we want to give you stuff for free. We don't want to charge you season passes and all this kind of stuff. And you know they've seen the way that like GTA 5 has done it, where it just sells for years, where Skyrim has sold for years, and you do that, you know, with these service games by adding extra content, and you know people keep on playing it and they buy it on multiple platforms like we do. You know, you might play it on a console, then play it on PC, or you know you play it on Twitch and you encourage 5 other people to buy it, and you get their money back.
The Division, so many people have bought the Division because of me streaming it.
Yeah. They then did a little bit on Mario and Rabbids, just focused on that Donkey Kong DLC that I think we already knew about that.
That was out. That was an old direct. It was a direct back in January, I think.
Yeah, so that's out this month, end of this month, June 26.
Same day as that Captain Spunky Pants, whatever his name is.
What about him?
Same day.
Oh, same day. There you go. Unfortunate. Skull and Bones, then they went in depth on, showed a lot of gameplay of Skull and Bones. This is a game that I'm totally interested in. I fucking love boats and I love pirates. I love pirate games, and this is why Sea of Thieves has made me so fucking sad. This one seems way more in depth, way more technical. It seems like you're controlling the overall ship and all the crew within it, as opposed to like one person. And very much an online game is the. It kind of made me think of like, it seemed like For Honor in a boat is the way I kind of looked at this.
Last time I saw it, it was it looked more like an arena shooter. If you catch, it's like
totally.
Yeah. But this time it showed that it's a bit more open world actually.
Yeah.
So that's
the stuff I really like. I really want that open world. I don't want this just to be a kind of a PvP thing. If it is, I won't be up for that. But yeah, if we can get that open world, and you know, I don't want 50 ships on the screen. I want it to be interesting when I encounter a ship. But I don't think I'm going to get.
Can I interest you in a game called Sea of Thieves, Jordan?
You're supposed to encounter the ships. Cool. So, a couple of things to went over then. So, they talked about the kind of setup. The Empire is kind of crushing piracy. Piracy is dead, is their tagline. Set in the Indian Ocean, which is kind of the last bastion of piracy, I guess. They talked about this fortunes mechanic, which is getting fortune tellers to tell you kind of what will be happening, such as weather changes or trade routes and things like that.
Did you see Giant Bomb's coverage of this?
No.
Dan went at one point, just like, wait, so pirates just stole from other people? Everyone was like, what?
I think they do.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't like is it's once again it's green gear, blue gear, epic gear.
Yeah, God, kill me now.
How are you meant to know which one's better though?
Yeah, saw that a few times throughout E3. Sad. Pirate hideouts are player hubs. There's a lot of boat customization. Have a look at this, rare. Shows more combat. Player can invite other in-game ships to join them in combat. It's released in 2019, and there is going to be a beta. Cautiously optimistic about that one.
Yeah.
Maybe not even optimistic, but I'm interested. Any kind of pirate game like that, I'm going to be interested in.
Black Flab, so
Black Flabs.
Another Black Flab.
So we know that the gameplay is going to be at least okay.
And Ubisoft like they're the studio I'd be really happy making this game, because you just know in like 5 years it's going to be huge, this game, even if it isn't at launch.
We'll see.
True.
Transference. So Elijah Woods then decided to come out.
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah.
He's the creative director on this
A
game.
Hobbit came out.
A Hobbit came out indeed. Explores going into other people's consciousness. It's a first-person thriller game about switching between various consciousnesses of a main family to piece everything together. It's out in the autumn, and I don't give a shit about it, but I'm guessing that one or two of you might.
What was this
No.
again? Sorry.
This is Transference. This is
Elijah Wood, game.
Go into people's minds, and you have to work out like
I
to
get
work out
sad
whatever's
when I think
happening.
about how they came up with this stuff. It was like, oh, we're gonna do this game breaking thing,
Oh.
and it's gonna
Yeah, I
be all
like that.
new. And
I like the look of that. I want to get that. It's a psychological
Yeah.
thriller. I'm up
there you
for
go.
playing that. Ubisoft.
everything
then
has
went
been
into
taught
Starlink.
all the way. So yeah,
Starlink Battle for Atlas, which is like a Toys
Yeah.
to Life game that I'm weirdly
that looks
interested
really.
in.
Yeah, and
Really cool.
I'm gonna get that on Switch.
It's like a PvP No Man's Sky or something. I don't know.
I'm totally going to wait for reviews because I don't know. There's
Yeah.
something like when I see gameplay, it looks cool. It looks like a polished No Man's Sky. But then I look at the character art. Like the main characters look really fucking generic, which makes me think, is this like a low budget game? So I'll wait for reviews for it, and I need to understand how the
Isn't it
toys
indie?
tie in, because I don't want to buy any of these toys if I can avoid it. So I don't know if I need at least one to have a ship. I'm not sure. But obviously they did a Star Fox tie-in as well, which is pretty cool.
Mhm.
Because Nintendo haven't got anything better to do with Fox,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
there's no.
What's up with
Um,
Ubisoft and Nintendo now? Are they?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they love it.
Like I said,
Um,
do you know why? Do you know what I'm really, really desperate for? Rabid Peach in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, not happening. So
On an amiibo.
Star Fox will obviously be exclusive to the Switch version, and one of the toys will be Star Fox's, I forget the name of the ship, but his ship. So that's cool. Keeping an eye on that game, see what it's like. For Honor, then they talked about, so they recapped all the updates that they've done. They thanked the community. They're giving away the starter edition of the game for free this week on Uplay.
Yeah, guys, you've got until Monday, I think. So get it downloaded. It's for free.
Do it now if you want it.
get Uplay.
Trailer for the new DLC, which is called Marching Fire, adds Chinese fighters. It's out on October the 16th. They're going to do a new 4 versus 4 mode called Breach, which has castle sieges.
Cool.
Wasn't it 8 versus 8?
Sorry?
Wasn't it 8 versus 8?
I've written down 4 versus 4, but I could be wrong.
Okay, yeah, probably it was.
Maybe like
Eight player,
I don't know,
maybe.
Either way.
Maybe they said
eight player, I
eight
guess.
player.
But apparently the community really wanted this, so yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, but who knows?
They then announced The Crew 2. Showed a trailer of that. Looked pretty mental. All sorts of vehicles being driven against each other and over each other and below and wherever else. Looked like a lot of fun. Free to play on. So I've written this down. Free to play on June 21st. Is that right?
Is that the beta?
I didn't
Is
catch
The
it.
Crew 2 free?
I didn't see the
I can't remember that bit.
part.
Was that the
Danny,
beta?
do you
Or I
remember?
can't remember. Sure, it wasn't the beta.
Yeah, that sounds. I can't imagine they're just giving The Crew 2 away free on June 21st. Yeah, maybe beta on June 21st. Okay, cool. So then they went into Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So they closed off the show with this now. I said earlier about me being excited about a Forza game. Almost as surprising as me being excited about an Assassin's Creed game, but they've done it. So they showed a story trailer. It's set in Greece. You explore kind of on the land or the sea. So they're going more into that kind of Black Flag territory where actually you can be on a boat. It's Athens
On a
versus
boat.
Sparta. That's the kind of period of time that it is. But there's a lot of like player choice and things like that, which are new for Assassin's Creed. You can choose out of 2 characters, male or female, that you'll then play as for the entire game. The game just looks really nice, really colorful. Graphically, I just thought it would look fucking outstanding. I've got to assume that was running on a high-end rig versus like a console. You have dialogue options. You can take equipment off people, so you could take like a helmet off somebody that you killed and equip it, and armor and stuff like that. So there's a lot more customization. and then they showed a kind of a giant battle that you took part in, and also teased a Minotaur. And I think one of the limited editions is called what's the monster with like all the snakes in their head that turns you to stone?
Medusa.
Yeah, one of them is called a Medusa. So I think that all the mythological stuff is going to be there, which I love.
And
Greek
the
mythology.
Tauren.
So, sorry,
the Tauren, the bull human.
Yeah, Minotaur. Yeah.
Can we comment about how ridiculous those?
I'm with this.
Have you
Like,
seen the special editions?
This could be really good.
Have you seen there are 8 editions of the game?
Yeah, I think like Origins I thought was really solid from like a gameplay perspective. That was a really good move in the right direction. But the story, I just thought I couldn't tell you what the fuck was going on in that story. I thought it was so bland and so forgettable. And the world, like, at the end of the day, it's ancient Egypt. It is pretty much all one color. But it got a little bit boring for me seeing this and being able to choose your character, customize them more, make decisions about how you want to treat other people around you. For me, this now makes it a game that I actually want to play. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe it'll turn out shit, but I've got a good feeling about Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah,
and it's my game.
Annoyingly, I think you're true.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
I hope so.
I think that's probably my game of that show as well.
They're moving away from the first other games. They're more like a narrow story-based game. You follow the story of this person, but now it's more customization. It's turning into like Witcher RPG.
They've definitely copied off that
character development,
yeah.
and also the gameplay. It's not that much a sneaky assassin game. It's more of a RPG kind of, which I'm going to keep comparing it with Witcher.
No, I think that's a good thing though. Like I'm so glad The Witcher came out like it did, because it's changed so many games, like of how they address certain things. Because The Witcher did so many things really well, and I think the Zelda's done as well. But the same things where it's just influenced people, and Ubisoft are never going to really make something totally original, but they'll learn from their own mistakes and also mistakes or what other publishers have done really well. That's why it could be really good.
The problem I never played it, so I don't know. But the problem with Origin, it seems like people get bored because they try to still do the same thing, like you follow a narrow story, but they made the game RPG. So it wasn't balanced. But now it seems like it's more an RPG than anything. So maybe it's gonna be. But for me, it's still a hate object because it's a fucking reskin of the first game. So yeah, that's that.
Melon will be a Ubisoft fan eventually.
Did you watch the gameplay?
Yeah.
I thought when she was in that port, went on to land. I just thought it was one of the best things I saw at E3, just in terms of visuals. So colourful, which is more I expect from that series. So yeah. On board with that one.
I want to see the map. That could be interesting.
Cool.
My game of that one is Division. I mean, you're probably not surprised, but I'm really hyped for that game. Can't wait to see what it's like. I know it's not going to win Game of the Show, but apart from the aesthetic, everything else they seem to have addressed sounds awesome, especially the raid. Love to do that.
Malum, do you want to add? We've got Assassin's Creed, Odyssey, and Division 2. Do you
I think Melum says Division 2 as well.
Between Beyond Good and Evil, Starlink, and Skull and Bones, actually.
And the Division.
Which one do you want to add?
I'm gonna.
I thought Beyond Good and Evil looked fucking incredible, but it just seems like a bit of a pipe dream at the moment.
And it's not the gameplay. It's like I'm gonna say Starbones.
Starbones.
Starlink.
Okay. Cool.
But I'm for the first time in many years intrigued of Assassin's Creed, I have to say.
And the Division?
No.
Right, so I can't really do the PC one because it was just game after game after game. There's a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff that I don't think we know.
I got some highlights.
So you take us through the PC one then, because there's just so much stuff that I can't tell you what it is. Like, what the fuck is Archangel Hellfire? What is the Hunt Showdown?
Oh, Hunt Showdown. That's
Hunt Showdown we can talk about. But,
like a battle royale game, isn't it? Weird.
Sega
But-
games coming to PC, that was cool, but other than that, I haven't got a clue. So you crack on.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of short, but I just want to say that I'm super impressed with PC gaming show this year, because like all the other years, and I didn't know it, but it's only been like 4 years for that show. So it's really cool that just after 4 years they're starting to nail it. For the first time, they didn't have they did have Acer and stuff as a let's see, as a sponsor, but the main sponsor this year was Drake's Cakes, which is, I don't know, they make cakes.
Not for gays.
So this for the first time it didn't didn't have anything to do with the gaming, so the content wasn't controlled by it. So that was really cool. And like they had, I think, around 40 games, which is huge.
There's a lot.
They sent people in. They showed a trailer most of the time, only gameplay, and then they had a really short, like 1 minute interview, which of course was scripted with the developer, and so on. And they did that with 40 games, which was really good. For me, the big one this year was Rapture Rejects, which was, it's a funny battle royale made by, well, you never remember the name of the guys, Ben? Rapture.
Which one?
Raptured Rejects. It's the internet humor
Cyanide and
people.
Happiness.
The guys that were
Yeah.
doing the Theme Hospital one, or
No. That's but I can go through just the good games, because it was really a lot of but Anno 1800.
oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That looks awesome.
I love the last one, which was like a future. Was it 7? I can't remember, but it's a long way in the
Rick and
future.
Morty
But Anno
ones?
800, that's going to be really fun. 2 Point Hospital.
Yeah, those guys were hilarious.
Yeah, it was a really good show, and it's clearly, it has the same humor and everything as the original games. They showed the Walking Dead final season, which is cool. It's finally coming. The game that I got most hyped about, Sable. It looked amazing.
Oh yeah, that looks really, really good.
That's, yeah, it's Journey number 2. That's finally they're making a game that can stand up to Journey. I really like that they're gonna have a vehicle in this, so you're gonna drive really far, and then you're gonna explore that one place for a really long time, and then you're gonna go for the next one. There's no other reason to get a vehicle in the game. And it's also a Norwegian that makes the sound for the game.
There we go. It's the sound.
I'm biased. No, but he's apparently, I didn't know about the guy, but he's apparently a legend inside gaming, because he makes the sound of almost every game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jurassic World Evolution.
Yeah.
They announced the release on 13 June. Was that because
That's the game I've been playing.
the show was at 12th, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think there was just
So
a bit of an advert for it.
Yeah, that's cool. And of course, your favorite, I guess, Ben,
Yes,
Hitman 2.
Hitman 2. Oh, we haven't really mentioned that because it was announced. We haven't had a podcast since it was announced, but yeah, I was. Oh, that game. So it's not going to be episodic, which I think is fine. I mean, I liked it episodically because then I was really like, every time a map came out, I was finishing it and going over it and doing all the other stuff before moving on. And I didn't feel like I was pushed to the next map. But it's fine because I just know people are going to like that a lot more, and there are going to be more people interested in this game, which is, I'll happily take that concession if it means more people are going to play it. They're going to have DLC. There's a co-op sniper thing, which if I pre-order the game now, which I'm not going to because it's out in November, but if I pre-order the game now, you can play co-op. But that sounds like a sniper challenge it's going to be. So it's not like you're actually in there with a friend playing them story missions co-op. But yeah, I'm super hyped. Especially
they're gonna keep on the weekly targets.
yeah, so they're still going to have the elusive targets, which I think are every few weeks. They release one where you've got 48 hours or something like that. Or no, I think it's like you've got 5 days, but you have to within 48 hours kill the elusive target, which is amazing. Oh, so much fun. And also there's going to be some DLC, so they're still going to be like releasing maps later on, which yeah, I'm looking, cannot wait. It looks, people who've played it have said it feels very similar to the first one, which is great for me, but I know some people might be wanting something a little different. There's like a first person view where you can go in and you can see the different options of how to complete it, which seems different. But yeah, I'm super hyped for that.
Yeah. No, so I didn't write down all the games because it was really a lot, but a lot of small games. But I have to say again, I'm really impressed with PC Gaming Show. It's
yeah, we thought you were joking.
No, but yeah, but they really did great.
I'll put
like
Sable down as my nomination.
Years. Huh? What?
I'll put Sable down as my nomination for that one. That looks really cool.
Yeah, mine too.
Hitman for me.
It's like the other years they had Nvidia and stuff as sponsor, so they used like 20 minutes just talking about the new processor. So that's no fun.
No, wasn't it like wasn't it a sit down kind of interview as well? The last one, like they didn't have that much to show.
Really bad scripted. This one was also scripted, of course, but it wasn't that cheesy as last time.
The guy that presented it was awesome.
So you have this many threads this time in the processor. I heard. Yeah, that's true. No. And then they talked about their stupid processor, which it's the wrong show.
Yeah.
It's not a tech show. It's a game show.
Yeah, leave that for a CNET convention. They were
talking of games.
Well, I said the guy who presented it was. I didn't realize just how many people love that dude. He's a caster for some kind of esports, but that helped as well by them having like a really nice, really decent host. There wasn't just some. Yeah. Have you noticed in all the press conferences, everyone that you would expect to wear a suit wasn't wearing a suit, and then he was the only dude where I'd expect to wear a t-shirt, and he was wearing a suit. It was just full of kind of executive people with a jacket, but then a cool t-shirt underneath it, and they looked really weird. Yeah.
And he was really one of the games at 2 Point Hospital.
Yeah.
During the interview, the microphone didn't work.
Yeah, that's so good.
He was like, "Come here, give me a hug," and he used his microphone on the chest.
Those guys are just. I could watch those 3 guys chat for ages. They were just so dry, British humid. You saw that, didn't you, John? You watched that with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were great.
So it's all good. But yeah, the games was 2 on Sable, and I guess you got Hitman too.
Yeah, Puka in the chat says Yakuza on PC, which no one ever thought would happen. And apparently someone who's played it on PC
Shenmue 1 and 2 on PC.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. And also, like Swill says, Maneater, that was the shark game. Looked fucking
We all thought it was Jaws.
But apparently the shark.
Someone said that they've played Yakuza on PC and it's really, it runs really well. And that's amazing because Yakuza 0 and 1 were 30 FPS and it was a bit... Yeah, that was really cool. I might get Yakuza 0 if it's really cheap at some point in the future and replay it on PC. Recommend it if you've never played one.
Yeah. Right, so Sony's conference then.
Oh boy.
God, yeah, they did a bad job this year.
Good games though.
Yeah.
Cool.
Quantity
so kicking off with The Last of Us 2. There's parts of this demo of Last of Us 2 that if you told me it was a PlayStation, not even a PlayStation 5 game, you could tell me this is a launch PlayStation 6 game, I'd be like, yeah, of course it is. Like the animation on the enemies' faces is like I've never seen anything like it. It seems like it's 2 generational leaps in front of what other games are doing. I just don't understand.
You can watch the whole gameplay, and if you just watch Ellie's right hand the whole time, that's an experience. It's like
she's doing all weird shit.
Yeah, it's so dynamic. I can't believe the game is going to be like this. It can't.
And I've read as well that you only play as Ellie in the game.
I thought that about The Last of Us 1 when I saw gameplay trailers for The Last of Us 1. I thought there's no way.
And I thought it about God of War as well. And the proving us wrong every time.
What do you think's happened
Yeah.
to Joel then? Because you don't play as Joel in this game. They've said.
They mention him in the trailer, like so
Yeah.
in the bit in the dance hall, they say your old man
Mm.
isn't very happy with me or something. So he's there, I think, but then we don't know where this is time wise.
Oh, she
So it
looked that
seems
old.
like, but I'm not saying years and years,
5.
but I don't know. So the dance, I'd assume that the combat bit is after the dance hall scene. Who knows?
I
Joel
think
could be dead by then, or
it seems like it was like she was thinking back in time on when it was. It's like I'm now in this situation, kissing and looking back at.
it could go either way without like.
I
really
don't.
looking at both
seemed like
character models.
that was the way they were trying to angle it.
I didn't
so
even
let's
think
go back
that.
to
I didn't even think that was kind of in line. I just thought that they made that for the trailer and that maybe they're totally different parts.
Kind
of
of
the
where I
game.
was with it. I don't think that'll happen in the game. I think those are two very different scenes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the presentation of the if you go back and watch the live coverage, this blew me away.
Yeah.
Absolutely blew me away. Just for so many fucking reasons. It looks so good. The motion capture that they've got during this opening scene, where it's just it's up there with a film, with like a high budget Hollywood movie in terms of just the way those people act and they look. There's a kiss, like doing a kiss scene. I'm sure thinking about it now, this is Naughty Dog basically showing off. Like doing a kiss in a video game is supposed to it's so fucking hard and it looks so bad. And like look at Mass Effect and all these games that have done kissing, it always looks fucking terrible. And then
It's the first time I've seen a kiss in a game.
You want to
Because
tap.
every time else it's just been.
The dialogue was
That's how
so
it works.
natural. Then that cut to her kind of killing the guy, and then that whole gameplay sequence culminating in the shop where she cuts that guy's head off, and then back into the kind of dance hall. I was absolutely blown away by it. Leaps and bounds better than anything else that I know of in video games right now.
Yeah.
I was already super, super excited because, as you know, I think Last of Us is one of the best games ever made. And this has made me even more interested in
Click play best game of the year. Best game of all time.
All time, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How was the HUD in the first one? Was it no HUD?
It was minimal HUD.
Yeah.
Because in the presentation, in this one, it was no HUD at all.
Yeah, there's minimal HUD in the first game, and I think they've just removed it for this demo.
Yeah. Same with the next one. They've said that there's going to be HUD in the next game. What we talk about.
And that's the type of stuff that changes so late, I think, when they're developing these games, that you wouldn't put it in now because it's going to change all the time anyway. And they wanted to make it a cinematic thing. That's how good these games fucking look, is that you move from this outright cinematic to this gameplay sequence, and it still feels like you're just watching something, you're watching a film, but actually that's somebody you can go in pro and you can go under that car. What the little bits that I really liked, when she's under the car and you can tell the person's going to come look and she cocks the gun, just the way she's breathing and stuff. Like if that stuff stays that dynamic and that intelligent throughout the entire game, it's fucking end game. That will blow the doors off everything. Games just don't look or work like that right now.
It's gonna. My PlayStation is gonna fry.
I'm fried with Detroit, so God knows what's going to happen with these.
I'm really looking forward to playing the remaster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't say enough good things about it. Just so moody. Like if you look at the rest of the gaming landscape, there's a lot of good stuff at E3, but there's a lot of fucking shit in video games as well. There's a lot of shit, a lot of boring, regurgitated, childish bullshit in video games, right? And then something like this comes along.
Leave Life is Strange alone.
I just want to show people that don't know anything about video games. I want to show them this and say, this is what a video game is. This is what a video game can do. I think this is right now in terms of cinematic presentation and storytelling, at least, because not all games go for that, so they shouldn't be judged by those merits. But in terms of that, this isn't the peak. This is something else. This is something that people will be striving for years.
Yeah. And the funny part is this was actually before the main conference.
It was weird.
This wasn't a part of the main one.
It was a weird lull, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Because it started at the same time as like the conference said. Okay, they said this conference is starting at that time. So, but they called it an intermission. They didn't say that there was a. I think that was technically part of the conference, but they just had a weird intermission in the middle.
Yeah, but then at least they made a way to cheat to make the conference longer. Because it was just made for be like 30 minutes, but it was an hour with the pre-show.
They announced a few things in the intermission, didn't they?
Yeah. So pre-ordering Black Ops 4 will give you classic Black Ops maps. And Black Ops 3 for Black Ops 3, sorry, and that'll be on PS Plus free from that night.
Ellen?
I have
New Game Plus for God of War.
I saw for the first time, I just have to say, for the first time I saw gameplay from a LAN party in Sweden.
The Gathering?
Black Ops 4? No,
What
not
was
the
it called?
Gathering.
I know which one you mean.
DreamHacks.
Yeah.
DreamHack. And they showed the gameplay from Black Ops 4 multiplayer. It's fucking spot on. It's the best multiplayer they ever made. I'm so sure.
Good.
It's gonna be really awesome.
As I said earlier, Battlefield, I like to play the single player campaign stuff, but Call of Duty, like the speed and just getting it all, like the turnaround at how quick you can jump into a game and you die, you respawn, you quickly play it. It looks, yeah, I much prefer Call of Duty PvP. So if that's, if they're doing it really well with this one, especially with no story, then I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be all over this. Also, those old maps, those old maps are going to be on that you. If you pre-order, you get the old map. You get Black Ops 3, which is going to be free for everyone with PlayStation Plus. But those maps are going to be on Black Ops 3, but they're also going to be on Black Ops 4 as well. Those old maps.
Cool. A subtle little announcement, but something I'm really keen for. They announced a New Game Plus for God of War. So that's fucking cool because I would happily play that game right now, but I don't want to just start from scratch.
Was it announced or were they just asking that dude whether he would?
No, they announced that.
Oh, okay, because he seemed really kind of like unscripted, that part.
Nope, that's happening. I can't wait. So then the conference goes into Ghost of Tsushima.
Tsushima?
Something
Sushi.
like that.
Ghost of Sushi.
Which looks fucking outstanding as well. So it's an open world action adventure game set in Japan.
FromSoft than Sekiro.
Yeah, totally. Considering this is Sucker Punch, like these guys made Infamous. Like I know there was some verticality later on in the demo, but this did not look like what I expected from Sucker Punch. So they showed loads of gameplay. It looks fucking amazing. They showed kind of what looked like an open world, really vast, kind of long distances that you could look over. You ride a horse. Lots of what looks like really technical sword combat.
But do you like how it's kind of one or two hits and they're dead? I know I love The Division and all that, so I'm a bit of a hypocrite here, but it just felt so cool that you just hit them a couple of times and they die, even faster than like in Neo.
Yeah, but
parries, finishes.
It was all about how you hit them.
Yeah, real in depth.
That's the one that it's if you're giving a killing blow, that's a killing blow. But you can also just mess up their arm or mess up the leg.
Yeah.
So if you think about that first enemy that runs at him and he just kills him in just one fucking quick swipe. And apparently you can do that in the game. This was all people have seen this demo be played out, and it plays out in the same way.
This game for me is my. So unless we discuss, and I remember another one, but it's my game of Sony's. But like the one thing I was like looking at, thinking
Last of Us 2?
Yeah, this one looks more fun.
How?
I like Last of Us, but it's not. It doesn't hold a place in my heart like it does to some people.
I've got some facial animations I need to show to you.
But this one, the HUD apparently is going to be there. So they were showing it with no HUD, and everyone was like, "Wow, there's no HUD," and then later they said, "No, there is HUD."
Have people never seen a fucking conference before? Like you never see HUD in a conference.
But they've said that they're going to look into ways of reducing the HUD or having options where you can get rid of it because they hadn't, for some reason, thought about that before. But
as long as if it's not like a big cheesy a lot of stuff, I don't care. Give me a HUD.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the way that Sony has done it since I don't know how long, the last few years, the HUDs are all fucking fantastic. Like I've got a thing about HUDs, yeah. Like the HUD in Horizon was great, loads of customization. What's the other big game that came out recently. God of War had loads of customization with the
Assassin's
with the
Creed
HUD.
as well.
They're all minimalistic and
barely
they're
a HUD,
dynamic.
Mm.
So like I imagine in Tsushima, it'll be a case of if you're not doing anything, you don't need that HUD. The HUD's going to fade away, and you're going to get those big panoramic views. But if you need it in combat, then it's going to kind of come up. But I don't think it's going to be egregious.
Neo doesn't have a bad HUD, but if they had the same HUD as Neo, it would be bad. But
but it doesn't need that.
It's a bit more cartoony. But if you just hold it a bit back,
like in the Souls games, there's so much like mechanically that's going on. You need that stuff there, but a game like this, I would assume you don't need it all the time. But I've got more than enough faith. Yeah, they're not going to Ubisoft it and make this fucking gorgeous game and then put a yellow and blue HUD all over it. No. Stealth system shown off, instant kills when you sneak up behind enemies. You can leap down onto enemies to initiate a change attack. I hope the antagonist is the Mongol hordes, and it ended with a cool boss fight. And all those leaves and shit. It looked fucking awesome.
I'm more curious than anything because I still don't understand how we're gonna play this game.
Yeah, is it going to be linear or is it open world? I got the impression it could be open world.
This is open world.
Oh, it is, yeah.
What this was a side mission that you saw.
Okay. Oh, no, I want to play that so much. I'm getting Neo vibes.
How are you gonna decide how you're gonna hit and stuff? For me, it's I'm really intrigued.
Yeah, I'm not sure mechanically how they do the controls.
Because it can't just be light hit and heavy hit.
No.
Souls.
Yeah, agreed. It'd be something on the analog sticks, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Maybe stances. But yeah, not sure. They're including the Japanese voice track with the Western release as well. And I'll totally play this in Japanese.
It's like a really immersive game.
Did they make?
They made
Metal Gear Rising.
Who?
Yeah, I think
These guys.
Sucker Punch.
No, Infamous.
Didn't they make Metal Gear Rising as well? Who made Metal Gear Rising that was coming out?
Platinum.
Yeah, Platinum are doing. Which one are Platinum doing again? Oh no, they got. No.
Yeah. So the next game I didn't really care about in the when I first saw it, but now I've been reading into it. So this is the new game from Remedy, i.e. Alan Wake, and that other shitty Xbox one that I can't remember the name. Quantum Break.
Break.
But now that I've read about the premise, because it just seemed a little bit too like trippy and stuff for me. I was like, what is this going to be? But now I know kind of who that dev is and what they're looking to do with it. Like you play as the person that's in charge of this supernatural FBI unit or something in the States.
Yeah.
And you've got this kind of containment area or building.
It only all takes place in that building.
Natural shit that they found, and it just goes wrong, and you have to go in there to try and sort it out. So I'm kind of up for this now. It looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
What was the name?
Control.
Control. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really hyped for that one.
Yeah. Oh, it looked amazing. With the gameplay. Yeah.
But it's one of those games that could come out and be like a 4 out of 10. like Quantum Break, was that well received?
Yeah. Is it the same guys? Because it looked like their gameplay.
It's Alan Wake and Quantum Break, guys.
Yeah, I think we were watching it and I was going like, oh, this looks like Quantum Break. And then Jordan messaged later, was like, yeah, it's the same guys. I like the look of that though. I like kind of weird, like the Jake Gyllenhaal kind of game, just something a bit weird that messes with you. I'm into that. I'm into VR Tetris as well. Can't wait for that to come out. That's going to mess with my head.
So the next game was a biggie for me. They did a bit of a teaser to start with. But as soon as I saw that there was a PlayStation 1 rendered in it, I knew that this was Resident Evil 2, the remake.
I never played it.
Oh, you didn't play the original?
No, I played the first one. I never played the second one. I don't know why.
So the second one is by far my favorite of like the traditional Resident Evil games. And ever since they remade the first one and did the first one is still held up as the best example of a remake, and like not a remaster, like a full-on remake. I'm not sure if Shadow of the Colossus would kind of challenge it to that crown.
Ever game ever made.
What the
remake of Shadow? The remake of Shadow of Colossus is the best game ever made.
Okay.
Well, it's
bold
going to be
statement.
interesting Game of the Year stuff this year, later this year.
Yeah. So ever since they remade the first Resident Evil and did a really good job of it, I've been thinking, like I think about this a lot, like worryingly a lot. I've been thinking about how they could do Resident Evil 2. It seems like they've taken my advice, even though I didn't give it to them. They've
then.
gone for like a Resident Evil shooting mechanic, but kind of made the zombies a little bit more aggressive. There's more of them than there were in the original Resident Evil 2, because they like Resident Evil is like top down set camera angles. You can barely aim your gun. You can just aim from left to right. That the challenge was found in the fact that the controls were basically shit. Whereas obviously now, like Resident Evil 4 actually changed the game when it came to third person combat mechanics. That and then Gears of War on the back of it. So now we're in a different age in terms of how this stuff can play. But they've just done it completely right. It seems terrifying. The zombies look really fucked up. When you shoot them, bits fall off them. I got a gif where they take a shotgun and shoot some police zombie in the head and his skin just tears away. It just looks absolutely brutal. I'm not sure if it's necessarily capturing the sense of dread that comes along with the first Resident Evil 2. Like a lot of this game is very dark.
It can't, because you can't have that psychological terror with that good graphics. It's kind of.
I know it's difficult, but like with Resident Evil 2, like well, this the what we've seen from this one, from a lighting perspective, everything's really, really dark, and they seem to be getting this scares from that. The fact that you can barely see anything, you've got a torch, and these fucked up zombies are coming towards you, which is good. It looks awesome. Don't get me wrong. But Resident Evil 2, everything was in the light. It was barely a dark scene in it. They didn't need it. It was just so fucking. It was just so tense, and just the sense of dread to it, and the music. Like, I hope they nail the music for this one. I've heard that they are going to do a mode where you can just use the original music, and I think they're going to do a bonus mode where you have set camera angles as well, which would be pretty cool. But like, as Resident Evil 2 is in my top 5 games of all time, in terms of handling a remake, everything that I've seen, I think is spot on. I'm so excited about this, and it looks gorgeous as well because it's in the RE7 engine. Cannot wait. And the date was sooner than I thought it'd be. Like, yeah, I'd rather not wait until January, but this easily could have just been a 2019 and leave it at that, and then not see it until like, you know, Q4. But it's coming out in January, and I can't fucking wait. And this was playable at E3. A lot of people played this, and they're saying it feels finished right now, at least in terms of the bit that they're playing. It is an early part of the game that you do start playing. But you know, if they've got the engine looking like this, and bits of the trailer showed some stuff which is much later in the game, I think this game is. I can't see this one being a game that's going to be delayed. Put it that way. If anything, hopefully it's brought forwards. It'd be a nice Christmas game.
Yeah,
fucking love it.
You enjoy it.
Thanks. You'll play it when I get the hype going, Ben. You'll buy it.
Yeah,
you know it.
Are we going to talk about Kingdom Hearts again in Sony?
We will do when we get to it.
Okay. Sorry.
Trover Saves the Universe next, which is like a Rick and Morty type thing. It's a PSVR game. I don't really want to talk about that one. No. Kingdom Hearts 3 Melon. New trailer with some gameplay in it. Showed new worlds. Pirate of the Caribbean. It's out on January 29th, as we know.
It looked like a whole nother game from everything else we've seen.
Yeah, the pirate stuff looked pretty deep, didn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, shading and everything. It was like a whole other engine. I don't know.
People have analysed, and apparently it's going to be that's very end game stuff. They think it's going to be pretty near the end. Yeah. I don't know how they know that, but.
Cool.
And obviously they announced that you can get the all-in-one package, which I'm not sure. Will that just be like one download, or is that you just unlock all the different games?
Yeah, I think you're gonna just like Steam.
Yeah. That separately, that's cost double what it is. I didn't realize how expensive those games were. Like 1.5, 2.5, 2.8. I think 1.5 and 2.5 is like 40. 2.8 is about 40 as well.
Exclusive for PlayStation.
Yeah.
They are, yeah, but the third one is coming to.
No wonder it's so expensive.
Cool. Next one then, again, very dear to my heart. Death Stranding, Kojima's new joint.
People aren't happy with that,
trailer. Sorry?
I've heard people are not that happy about it.
When are people ever happy with it?
People.
They were never happy with Metal Gear. They're never going to be happy with Death Stranding. They want everything to be the Division 2.
Oh, if only.
But luckily we've got fucking proper artists doing zany shit, and for some reason Sony's filling him up with millions and millions of pounds.
And it's not following the European standards with fucking spoiling the game before it released. It's amazing. I don't understand shit, and I'm so intrigued.
So if you think about,
I don't know shit.
Have you seen the art that Kojima's wearing around? So it's the T-shirt that says "Bridges." It's like United States bridges. Seen this?
No.
Okay, cool. So it's a picture of the United States, and then it's just got like red stuff going across it as if they're like connecting. So, and if you think about what Sam, i.e. Norman Reedus, was doing in this trailer, he was just walking from place to place. He was a delivery man, right?
Yes, Postman Simulator.
So I think the whole point of it, I think something's happening in this world. There's clearly some kind of time weirdness going on, because like at one point in the trailer they say if you are touched by one of those things, time moves forwards, and you see like plants growing and withering and stuff. So something obviously fucked up has happened to this world, and people must just stay in safe places now. And I think Sam is one of the part of an initiative that delivers things. Like in one point, he was delivering clearly a corpse. There was somebody tied to his back. So I think that's the basic premise of it.
It looks like it's the last stand of the humans.
Yeah,
or something.
And he's just going to deliver shit, and stuff's going to pop off.
Did you see
a new woman character in it? Who's the lady from James Bond?
Did you see the cowboy song that I put on the WhatsApp? They turned the Death Stranding video into that howling cowboy thing.
No, don't do that. It's not on.
I'll show you it. It's amazing.
There's a really cool scene where he tried to sneak past those enemies, but he got grabbed, and that looked like it would probably be an end game situation. Like I assume that's him dying. That's how you can die. You get grabbed by those creatures. Doesn't seem like it's going to be necessarily like combat focus. He did have a gun at one point, but I don't know what shooting those.
We have no idea.
Yeah. Whether maybe there'll be other humans in that you fight as well, but we haven't seen any of that yet. And then they revealed Lindsay Wagner, who I have no idea who that is.
Yeah,
the way they revealed it was as if I should know.
Yeah,
I
was no idea. No idea.
But yeah, totally up for that. Give him more money. Why not?
Yeah. You get food as well.
Then
Jordan.
they announced Neo 2.
Wow. Oh, nearly. Surely, yeah, Jordan.
So
I need to get married.
So they then announced Neo 2, which I just totally hadn't even considered.
I don't know if I want a new Neo yet.
I'm not even hyped.
Should be.
Yeah.
It's probably
I have no idea how early that is. Like, for all I know, Sony just said, "Oh, could you do us a quick trailer and then make the game?" But I don't know. I assume that'll be out next year, maybe.
I
love Neo, so it'll be good to have another one.
Oh, you have to get into it, Melon. Give it another go.
Yeah, give it a go. In a way, it's the best of the Souls games.
No, fuck you. Not allowed. That's not allowed.
Get on PC, Melon. We'll co-op with JP.
From like a gameplay perspective, it is the best. Like they just fucking go nuts with the mechanics and just say, yeah, you can do all the online stuff you want and wherever else. It's got a shit story, and the level design isn't anywhere near as good. But it's still really good.
Hilly in the chat asked you, Jordan, is that The Help?
Is what for help?
Is that The Help in the background?
Yes.
They're indoors.
And then they finished off with Spider-Man, which I'll talk in a second about how Sony should have won this E3 and they didn't. But they finished with Spider-Man, which still looks fucking awesome. They showed a gameplay. They showed like an opening section where loads of the enemies escape and stuff, and then Spider-Man gets fucked up. It was just more Spider-Man, and I thought what was more interesting, and what they should have done at this conference, is show just in-world gameplay, so like stuff going around the city. Because have you seen like these videos from the gameplay demos that people are playing at E3? That city looks incredible. There's so much depth to it. So many NPCs walking around in cars and stuff.
It's out so soon.
It looks amazing. And they went with they ended up with this story thing. So to go back to my other point about how Sony should have won E3, like you've got all these exclusive games, and you're showing us like we saw Death Stranding, for fuck's sake. Like, who expected to see gameplay of Death Stranding? I certainly didn't. So you've got all that. They should have had Dreams there. They should have had an. They should have had an.
Dreams was there. Did you not see that? Every 3 seconds they seem to have like.
Yeah, I know, but they didn't explain that, and that isn't what's going to sell Dreams. So Dreams is the Media Molecule, like Little Big Planet new game.
Okay.
Like where you like make basically you make your own game. And people playing it like for all year, people coming back from conferences saying Dream is legit. And they're making crazy games. And then I saw this GIF on Reddit where they'd made like it looked like Elite Dangerous. They'd made like this space fucking sim game, and you were launching from a ship and stuff. Now, clearly the game is really good. Everyone that's seeing it is saying it's really fucking robust, really, really cool. Get a demo of that up on stage, get some hype going for that, and it pads out this conference a little bit and gives it a bit of a different edge. I get that they were totally just going for this is our really cool cinematic first party stuff, but like, and I think they shied away from Microsoft a little bit. Like, they announced what they were going to talk about beforehand. I don't think Microsoft had enough to take them on, really. And Microsoft, like I said, did a lot of smoke and mirrors to make it seem like they had more, when realistically they haven't. They'll have more in 5 years' time. If they'd had Dreams there, they should have done. They didn't show gameplay of Resident Evil. There's a full fucking demo of Resident Evil that people are playing at E3. Show the fucking gameplay. Have someone play it. People don't care about these cinematic trailers. They want to see somebody sit down and play a game. So show that. They showed the wrong bit of Spider-Man. Should have showed something else. And then just do a few other, third-party pieces. And for me, then they would have won. But they didn't win. Microsoft
They didn't win?
Unfortunately. I don't think so.
Okay.
No. It was a lot closer. Like I said, they, in some ways, they didn't even try. They just turned up with these first-party games that they've got complete access to, and just showed you 5 minutes of each of them.
I can tell you the reason they did win.
Go on.
And that's the thing that Sony does so great. It's the show gameplay of these big games, and they don't show you the explosion climax of the game. They use the time, and they get you interested in the game. It's always a little travel, and then they clearly show the gameplay, and it's every time you see it, it's just so unbelievable. And since they've done it with Naughty Dog and games like God of War, you so believe the scripted trailers, because you're being proven that what you see is what you get. So when they give you these clearly scripted trailers, you do believe them.
Yeah,
so
I totally get what you're saying.
That's why Sony won it for me.
It depends how you measure it. Like for me, in terms of games that I care about, yeah, you've got Death Stranding, you've got Resident Evil 2, you've got Last of Us 2, right? Like, yes, for me, those are the games that I care about. And so if you're looking at which conference had outright the best showing of games and games that are tangible and that we're going to play, yeah, sure,
Ubisoft.
It was Sony. But so what Xbox needed to do with this was a reboot for Xbox. They were coming in to say, okay, look, we know we fucked up. We're changing the ship. We're buying new studios, and we've got all these games coming as well. Like I said, loads of smoke and mirrors there. They didn't actually show all that much, or didn't actually have all that much that was exclusive. But they're back in the game of courting third parties and getting the kind of marketing deals and stuff like that, which is what you need to do if you want to be in the console space. But I think Sony was scared. I think Sony probably thought that, especially if you think about From Software, I bet that was a blow to Sony, knowing that they would have wanted to have that game on their show. They've got a good relationship with them. They've had Demon's Souls, they had Bloodborne. They're going to, and they had the reveal of this game. They're going to expect to show the rest of that game. Clearly, they knew it was at Xbox. So I think Sony were thinking, "Fuck, what else have they got? And is it going to blow us out of the water if we try to compete?"
You do believe me when if Sony would have shown Sekiro, that would have won the Game of the Year also, because they are much better at showing the game. In Microsoft, it was one of 50 game. It just washed out straight away. In Sony, they would have given it like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I just think overall,
the game.
just think as a presentation, as something that'll stick out in people's mind and give a view of where this company's going. Like the difficulty is the Sony's already there. Sony's already top of their game. They're selling shitloads of consoles. They've got the best first party library that I think anybody's probably ever had, maybe ever, or potentially, you know, if you look at Nintendo in the SNES days, maybe then that was a little bit better. But Microsoft has basically got nothing. They're starting from scratch. And I just kind of feel like if Sony had just stuck to their guns and show everything that they already showed, but do it slightly differently, like I said, do actual gameplay demos of Resident Evil. This was basically an hour long, this conference. They had plenty of time to play with. Show the Resident Evil gameplay, because it's fucking awesome.
Could have done it in the
show the right bits of Spider-Man. Don't show some story stuff that looks cool but could be any kind of movie license game.
I yawned when I saw Spider-Man.
Why didn't they do that in the
Too long.
intermission? Because you know that intermission where they were just chatting. Why didn't they just put a long gameplay? That Death Stranding was like 10 minutes. Why didn't they just play that and then get everybody to move?
Move everybody, yeah, that'd be more seamless. But yeah,
But
you know,
but you talk about Xbox like it's this great comeback conference. But for me, the great comeback conference was PC Gaming Show. They had
PC
most to prove.
like the show that maybe the show isn't good, but PC gaming is more buoyant than it's ever been. Like PC gaming doesn't need an E3
No,
conference.
it was really on point this year. It was
Yeah,
really
but it doesn't.
well
The
made.
point is, does PC gaming need an E3 conference to position itself? No, because it doesn't need a position. It's PC gaming is everything. Like it's every kind of game you can possibly imagine. It's never going to be contained in a 2-hour long conference anyway. And who is PC gaming? Nobody fucking owns it. You could potentially argue it's almost Steam, but it's not anymore. Increasingly, it isn't. Like you can have a PC gaming conference, but it doesn't mean the same that a Sony, like Sony, PlayStation is their everything. Microsoft, Xbox is a much smaller part of that company, but still it's an important brand for them. PC gaming is so nebulous. I get what you mean in terms of it was a bad show last year and now they've had a good show. Fine, but
It's been bad 3 years.
is that do you think that any more games are going to be sold because of that PC gaming show? No, those games are going to sell anyway.
Definitely.
Games sell on
There
PC.
Yeah, but the thing was, there were so many small games that was shown, and they would never have the platform if it wasn't for a PC game show.
That's why I kind of agree with Melon in that way.
That's really important at this time.
A lot of indie games, there are millions that come out on Steam. On Steam, like new indie games come out every hour, you know. But when PC Gaming Show, when I was watching that, I didn't watch it all, but just the clips that you showed me. They were constantly game after game after game, and there were loads of games that you'd see that you wouldn't normally have noticed. Maybe indie games that get picked up by Xbox or PS4, but a lot of those, like that 2.4 Hospital, and there's no way that's going to appear at Xbox or PS4, but watching that and just seeing those guys quickly talk about it, I was like, yeah, that's a game I really want to play and I really want to get.
And just
in 2018, if you've got a good and interesting game, there are far better platforms than an E3 conference. I don't. Most of those games in the PC conference, I don't think they'll see any traction based on the fact that they're in some fucking E3 PC gaming show. They need to get a Twitch player playing them. They need to get on YouTube. They need to have some sponsorship within Steam. It's not going to be from a PC thing. Yeah, if they're making the move to console and it's a good enough game that, you know, Microsoft or Sony want to feature them, fine, but that's a different ball game. PC, like I said, I just don't think they're equivalent.
E3 is mainly getting hyped on Assassin's Creed 17 and Call of Duty 25 and Battlefield 44. It's so good that actually the indie games are getting a platform and getting through there. And the hype is big.
But indie games get a hell of a platform on the console space as well. Like Sony didn't go for that this year, but there was plenty of indies at the Microsoft one, and Nintendo have got this whole Ninties program going on. So it's not as if the kind of platform holders don't have any time for independent games. I think we're far past that. Like they know how important games like that can be, and how much they can sell. I'm not sure what we're arguing about now.
No, I don't think we're arguing. It's just making some points, I think.
Rosie,
it's just like Square Enix, I really felt like they did a great job just because they also had like 2 new IPs and they held up with their show with being on point and fast and just.
We haven't done Nintendo yet, but like Square went the same kind of route as Nintendo with these videos, and then I think I totally think that the age of the conference is over, and as much as it excites me, and I get to stay up till fucking 4 in the morning to
Yeah.
watch these conferences and see the news for the first time. Realistically, in this day and age, do you need that conference? No, you definitely don't. You don't want to drag all these people to a conference. You do a video. You just do a fucking
And there's so much more less expensive ways to do this.
look at Sony's conference, right? So yeah, you got all those people crowded into a room, but then all you did was press play. You just press play on a fucking video. You can totally control that message and avoid any kind of, if you've got something in your video that you're like, oh, I hope everybody claps at this, but then they don't. Like, that's the danger of being on a live show. And especially if you're going to do a live gameplay demo, why the fuck would you ever risk that? That's mental. Just do a video. Do a really, really well-produced video like Nintendo does and release it on a different day to everybody else.
In the chat, we've got a few comments. Rosie says, Xbox One's literally almost 5 years old. How can you stay competitive with hardware that was pretty well below meta at launch? I think Xbox is all about the fact that you can play on PC as well, I think. And then pretty much everything they show is either on the Xbox One X or on PC.
But everything I can play on both Xbox and PlayStation, I'd rather play on Xbox.
Oh, with Xbox One X, yeah.
No,
what do you
just
mean?
a regular Xbox One.
You prefer to play on that?
It's a better controller. It's better hardware.
Better controller, yeah.
It's the better console. But
the UI in the
Sony
Xbox
has much better exclusive. That's the only reason I bought
the vanilla
Sony.
Xbox One is not a better piece of hardware than the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, of
course
course
I would adamantly disagree with that. It's really not. That's why they had to dramatically redesign it. It's a bad piece of hardware. It's got a big brick that comes out of it for the power. It's loud. It overheats. It's underpowered. The Xbox UI on the X
PlayStation is a fucking jet plane.
No, you need to test it.
No, mine too is. But it's something to do with the thermal paste. They use cheap thermal paste, but you have to replace it. But it's dodgy.
PlayStation gets to play some games.
I just hate
but the Xbox One S. Is that anything different?
I hate the UI on the One S. Like it crashes. I press buttons and they don't respond to anything on the screen, and it's really slow. It's like a really old PC sometimes.
Saying that the One S is a much better piece of hardware than the original one. Basically the same power, but it's a nicer designed box. Like the original Xbox One is a fucking travesty. Like they thought they'd already won that generation, and they just wanted to make sure that they were your TV provider. They didn't give a fuck about games. And I said it on the live stream. As much as we can commend Xbox for righting the ship and doing this conference and saying what they're going to do, we should never forget what they tried to do with video games and what they would probably do if they go into that position again. They try to fuck up video games, but instead, what we've got are really cool experiences like The Last of Us 2 and wherever else. Instead of actually, you know what, this is Madden, and you can watch actual American football on the side of your screen as well. That's what they wanted. Fuck that.
Rosie in the chat. I'd be real pissed off if I went to a con, paid $100 to get in, and all they did was press fucking play. Yeah, I mean the people that went to those conferences were there, the press people, but most of the people like going there, they're paying $100 to queue around the block to play a game of Fortnite that they could have done back home. Apparently that's what they were shocked. Like there were so many people at there, like the public, that were paying and going in and playing Fortnite. So you can go play that at home. Yeah. I also, by the way, it's not going to be in a Switch one, but I saw quite a bit of gameplay of the Spyro remastered. Looks cool. Looks very cool. I will be playing that. I don't want to pay $60 for it or whatever it's called. Yeah.
I hope it's new gameplay, at least, because the old, I've said this so many times now, but the old Spyros are really bad.
This is made from the ground up. They didn't have any source code or anything.
I'd like to trust you, Melon, but you did just say that the Xbox is a better console than the PlayStation, so I'm not sure if I can trust you anymore.
Manny's got his hold on him.
I'm gonna find the numbers, man.
I just don't like the UI. You've seen me. We've played Halo together, Melon, and I was getting really, really angry because I was pressing like start, and it just was going, and it was clicking like the start button on the screen was like the button was pressing, so it recognized I was pressing it, but it wasn't launching anything, and I was getting so angry. It was just like a really bad PC. Screw Xbox UI. At least with PlayStation, when you press X on something, it actually presses it, even if it crashes
press
after.
A on the Xbox, Ben.
Oh, maybe that was what I was doing wrong.
And this is not a console war. It's just it's always been like the Xbox is the good at playing games for both, and Sony's always been better at exclusive.
Like a lot of the multi-platform games of this generation have been really bad on Xbox. Or I say bad, relatively bad compared to PlayStation. It doesn't matter anyway. Who cares?
Red Dead 2 is going to be better on the One X though.
The Switch is the best console at the moment, so that's all that matters. And on that note, let's move to Nintendo's E3 press conference. So not a hell of a lot of info here, but one fucking juggernaut of an announcement which blew my dick away. So they kick off with Daemon X Machina. No idea what that is. Some kind of mech game coming out next year. Melum, do you know anything about this?
Nope.
Oh, that's the Weibo stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, for weebs. Xenoblade Chronicles DLC.
No, it's not DLC, apparently. I've heard that that's not DLC.
What, Torna?
Apparently it's... someone said that that's a sequel to the second. What's it called again?
So
Xenoblade Chronicles
2. September, though.
What's it called? Xenoblade Chronicles 2... Torna.
It's just called Xenoblade Chronicles Torna.
Tora or Torna?
Torna.
Oh no, it is DLC. Apparently.
Right.
Ah.
Cool.
There you go.
Then they showed Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu / Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Just showed how that shit works with the Pokeball, which I quite like. Quite like to own one of those. Nothing really to report on that one. Out November 16th.
It was the main reason I bought the Switch. I'm a Pokemon nerd. I love Pokemon.
Tell us about that.
No, I haven't seen the Nintendo conference.
You bought a Switch?
Yeah, that was because Ben has been nagging me for 8 months now.
Doesn't sound like me.
But I just really... The first time I heard that it's co-op Pokemon, my girlfriend loves Pokemon. I love Pokemon. So that's why I bought the Switch.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Like, I know I know this isn't the next installment in Pokemon, that's next year, but is this going to be a fully fledged Pokemon game inside it, even if it's like more like the current gen?
Apparently, but from what I understand, there's a bigger Pokemon game coming in 1 to 2 years.
Which proper sequel is supposed to be coming out next year, but
and that's going to be like
can you fight other people in like a normal Pokemon game, or is it all the weird Pokemon Go stuff?
Actually, I have no idea.
Okay.
Me neither.
As I said, also, I didn't see the conference of Nintendo this year.
Cool. Let's move on. Super Mario Party was announced.
Yeah, Melum and I are going to be playing that in Norway. Aren't we, Melum? Oh, it's
What?
I appreciate the move to Super Mario Party versus like 10 Super Mario Party 11 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
that's
Melum,
good.
we're going to be playing that.
It's freaking weird. It's not online.
Yeah.
Is it not at all?
Apparently not. Unlike another, but we're we're going to play that, Melum.
Yeah.
With beer. If you have a capture card,
online,
we're not going to be able to stream it though.
No, it's a pity I can't bring my capture card or something. But
yeah, but you would need 2 capture cards because we have to stream both of the screens.
Oh, I guess you can use 2 screens. Great. Yeah.
It's going to be a fun couch co-op.
Yeah, just get drunk and be. Have to worry about embarrassing yourself.
They showed the
fooling
next
around
fire
on the couch, man.
Oh.
What? They showed the next big Fire Emblem game, 3 Houses, which I'm bang up for. I really want to get into that.
Really hyped about this.
What is it called again? Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Yeah, seamless between the combat and the tactical part, apparently, which is what people are happy about.
Yeah, I'm bang up for that. They then obviously announced Fortnite, and then it's out the same day.
Oh, don't get me started on that. So,
that was a Sony exclusive we did.
Yeah, that was the so now if you dare to want to play Fortnite on the Switch and use that Epic account that you've used on PC and maybe you played it on PS4, even if it's just one game, or even if it's like me, you've never played a battle royale game on your PS4 of Fortnite, but you have gone on that. On the launch day for a couple of hours you played the PvE part and thought, this is crap, I'm going to stop playing that. But then if you dared play a totally different version of the game for 2 hours on there, you cannot use that account on Switch. because Sony has, that Sony exclusive. They've held it, and it just makes me not want to play it on the Switch, which is crap because I'm punishing Nintendo for what is Sony's.
Can I be a PlayStation pleb and just say they don't need any crossplay? They've already won.
Yeah, but they're.
I so understand why they do this.
Yeah,
but it's not the crossplay. It's the fact that if you've played Fortnite on your PlayStation and registered your account to it, you can't then use your Epic account. So it's not your PlayStation account. You can't use your Epic account on the Switch.
Yeah,
I understand this, but
it's just ridiculous.
It's not crossplay. That's like a third party to PlayStation.
So many PlayStations that if you want to play with your friend that also have it on PlayStation.
But my argument would be that Sony shouldn't be able to dictate that because that isn't their account. That's an Epic account. And the whole reason for Epic having that account is to circumvent console fencing.
Epic should never have agreed to that.
If you
what makes me think this must be an oversight.
With PlayStation, it's stupid that even then it doesn't work. If it's been registered once, it will never work. Yeah.
It's never. You can never play. I can never play. It's just because I pay for the battle pass. I'm not getting a second battle pass, and I must have paid like 80, 90, probably close to €100 spent on Fortnite over the last year or so on skins, battle passes, and stuff like that. And I don't want to just start a brand new account just to play on the Switch when I'm probably not even going to play.
So why
it
can't
that much.
Epic fix this then? Like, surely this is an Epic thing.
I think hasn't Epic said that it is a Sony thing?
How can it be? Like, it's their fucking platform.
Of course they say that.
Yeah, but they also said that a lot of their people are at E3 and they will. I think they're going to address it later. But this made it to BBC News.
I don't think this is a cynical move by Sony to lock you off. I think this is probably a symptom of Sony's weird architecture in terms of networking stuff, which they still struggle with. That's why you can't change your name and stuff like that. But realistically, like even if it's a case of, well, this will delete your this will stop you from being tied up with your Sony account. There should be an option there on the Epic end. Yeah, I can't see how Sony could stop them from doing it. It's their platform.
It's not the crossplay. Okay, I can handle no cross-platform. Yeah, that's something I've just accepted, which we'll sort hopefully another time. But the fact that you can't even log in, it's not okay. If it was assigned to if it was like a game that was another publisher, but the fact it's like Epic Games, it's an account you're going into. It's a third-party actual account. It's not like you're just playing. It's not like some people are saying like, oh well, then what about Destiny? I want to be able to cross have my stuff saved on Destiny and then transferred over when I want to play it on PC. But it's like no, that's two different things. They've got their own servers and that. This is just Epic Games. Just fucking ridiculous. And I hope
Sony's getting a lot of hate for this.
A lot, yeah. Even I've seen loads of people, even the Sony sub is saying like, I'm a massive Sony fanboy, but this is not on, and they need to sort it out.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a massive Sony fanboy, and it's not on. I won't say that.
Apparently, it plays well on the Switch though. 30 frames. I've played a couple of rounds. Everyone is really, really bad at that game on Switch right now, so it's a great time to play.
It's so hard.
I got 3 kills. Because
I have to
Fortnite. We don't need to cover that anymore.
Just think, how do I build?
Yeah.
We done?
Rosie says, look at Monster Hunter. If they had only gone live on both PC and PS4 at the same time, the game wouldn't be dead already. Yeah, there's still some people that like it, but I don't know anybody that plays it anymore.
Is it dead?
Imagine it's just the same hardcore Monster Hunter crowd that are playing it now.
Yeah.
It's dead for me, at least.
Overcooked 2 was announced.
Yeah, online.
It's out on August the 7th.
So Melvin, I can... Yeah, just before I come to Norway, that's going to test our friendship.
Killer Queen Black.
Have a place to sleep.
This Killer Queen Black game?
The street. Killer Queen Black. Yeah, that's that 10-player old arcade game with which they made very few copies.
Cult arcade game people love. I need to work out why people love that so much because they do. But if that's got online, I want to play it. They announced that Hollow Knight was out that day.
I bought it. Runs very well on that.
Then they announced Octopath Traveler's coming July 13th, and the demo is out in a couple of days, which is now out. And I've played, and I suggest that anybody with a Switch goes and plays it and realizes how good that game is.
I'll be streaming that after the stream. I'll be streaming that after the podcast, so if anybody wants to hang around. You don't have to.
And then the biggie was Super Smash Brothers, and they kind of teased, and then shut up then. And then they gave subtitle, which is Ultimate, and that just sets up everything. So it's every single fucking character that's ever been in a Smash Brothers game. It's looking like it's potentially every fucking level, at least most of them, from every Smash Brothers game. It's kind of built from the ground up. It's surprisingly, it's not. I'm sure there's lots of technical stuff they've taken from the previous game, but this game, I know that every Smash Bros. Game pretty much looks the same, but this plays a lot faster. A lot of changes to core characters. I couldn't be more happy with this announcement. I fucking love it.
Probably
if
get
this
it.
had just been Smash 4 coming to Switch, I would have been happy with that. But the fact that it's this new Ultimate thing, it's got every character. Snake is back.
With the flat ass.
I just can't wait. And it looks like they with when Smash Brothers went from Melee to the Wii and then the Wii U, especially with the Wii version, actually, they did a lot to kind of make the game a bit more casual, and took out some of the more technical moves. And like with the Wii especially, if you think about all the different control options that you had with the Wii, you could literally just play by turning a Wiimote on its side. So you had like a really limited amount of buttons and things, so they had to make the game work on that, and it kind of watered down the game. They've completely moved away from that now.
Joy-Con?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Can't you do that with Joy-Con?
I don't think you'll be playing Smash Brothers with one Joy-Con.
I don't know.
You might.
I don't.
It is the
I
two
don't-
ones.
Yeah, it's like the two
Has it got
top
every button on
buttons, apart from the triggers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Well, triggers,
6
you
buttons.
need the triggers.
and
So
But like, no, they've got the buttons, the shoulder buttons, but not the triggers.
It is the buttons there.
Mm-hmm.
I
It
think
could work.
or maybe you can.
In local,
You play with that, and I'll play with my Pro Controller, and we'll see who wins.
No, but yeah.
But yeah, this is perfect for me because I was, like I said, I would have taken 4, but having a fucking whole new game with all this different content in it for me is just a dream come true. I can't believe it. The only bad thing was that it's not coming out until December.
Yeah.
Towards the end of this conference, it really felt like they were about to say this is out now, or like this is out in a week or something like that, and then I would have just exploded.
Come everywhere.
Clockwise. So
We're gonna sit
that-
on our pajamas during Christmas time and playing this together.
Yeah.
yeah. Do you play Smash?
I never played. I played when I was little. I never.
Okay, I'm
understood.
going to teach you and Ben to play Smash.
I'm so gonna play this.
I say I've got
Don't worry about it.
Super Smash Wii U thing.
Yeah.
Is that good?
That's Smash Bros. 4.
But it looks like the camera angle closer this time? Or was it just me when I
No, it's the
made
same.
it?
The camera angle moves in and out. We didn't say Sony game of the thing. For me, it's Last of Us 2.
Oh yeah, you have to do that. Yeah.
Oh, which one
You,
to be? Which one? Sorry.
Sony.
Sony.
Sony Ghost of Tsushima, whatever it's called. Is that the name of it?
Then I'm gonna say Death Stranding.
For PS4.
Yeah.
And for
And Nintendo.
What were the options again?
That was for me.
Smash.
Smash or what are the other kind of big ones? I forgot. I've got really bad memory. Got like an old man memory.
Mario Party.
Ooh.
Overcooked.
Mhm.
Killer
That
Queen.
is a big one.
You
Emblem.
could technically say Octopath.
Pokemon.
Fortnite. Fortnite. No. I would say Fortnite is the game of E3. Oh, by the way, did you see the Fortnite Pro-Am thing, the esports type thing that they had? That was so well put together, and just I was glued to that at like 6 a.m. in the morning. It was so well put together. It was. I think that's how people like feel when they watch their favorite sports ball games. It was really cool. I'll go for Smash because I'll buy it. I'll play it. I'll probably learn it, and then
All right.
change after
Cool.
an hour.
So that leaves us with our list. Just while I'm doing that, then, who do we think won in terms of the conferences?
I don't think any of them were that standout winner. But
No?
I'm going to go for quality over quantity, and I'm going for Sony. Because
Melon?
every game was such good quality.
This year's comeback was PC Gaming Show.
PC gaming, yeah.
But I'm going to give it to Sony.
Okay, it's interesting. Cool. So I think, like I said, I think that Sony could have won it if they'd actually got it right, but they didn't. Sony didn't win. For me, Xbox won, but considering that you two are saying Sony, I'm happy to go with Sony.
Also, really pissed Manny off as well. So
yeah,
extra
you'll
bonus.
blame me as well. He always thinks it's me. Like, I'm more objective than most people about it. I love fucking Xbox. So I'm just finishing off.
Will
this
say it's
list, and then we
Bethesda.
can argue the
For me,
top.
that's the letdown most this year.
This was alright. I mean, my second probably would be Xbox, but I think Ubisoft had a really good game. Like every game, like Sony, every game that Ubisoft showed, I thought, yeah, I like that game. I want to play that game. I want to play that game. I want to play that game. Whereas with Xbox, Xbox just had loads of games that I would probably play for like 2 or 3 hours and then just stop. Whereas Sony is the ones I'd really put my time in and finish them, which is a lot for me.
Okay, cool. So our short list of games of the show are.
Hilly says, by the way, if you give
Anthem.
any reward to Fortnite, I will leave your lives but creep back because I don't know what I do with myself.
Okay.
So, wait, Anthem?
That's
game.
Anthem.
Mm-hmm. This is for our game of the
Right, yeah,
conference, yeah?
Sony won the show, so Sony had the best conference. So in terms of games, Anthem,
Yeah.
Dying Light. I still can't say it. Is it Sekiro? Sekiro?
Yeah.
Like
Sekiro?
say Seki.
Shadows die twice.
Yeah.
Octopath Traveler, Babylon's Fall, Fallout 76, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Division 2, Starlink, Sable, Hitman,
Yeah.
The Last of Us 2 or Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, Smash Brothers Ultimate.
This is the hardest year for me.
So I think if we vote for one each,
Mhm.
and then let's say we got 3 different ones, we'll take all the rest out and then argue the toss over those 3.
Yeah.
All right. So, Hitman. No. I'll go for Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay. Melon?
I'm so torn. Because I kind of want to say Sable.
Say it.
Say Sable if you want.
Yeah, but
Say it, Melon.
saying it's Sable.
We could have like a third, second, and first, and like these 3 are the third, second, and first if you want.
Okay, let me talk to you about my thought process on this, right? So I've kind of got a near, a far away, and like a just ridiculously far away pick. So my near pick is Octopath Traveler. I fucking love that game. Something that's out this year, but is a little far away, is Fallout 76. And then in terms of like long-term stuff that we've seen at least some of, because Elder Scrolls is there, but that's not a game yet. Cyberpunk. Now, not based on the Xbox showing. Like I said, I thought that trailer was good. I just don't think it. Like, if we didn't know this was the Witcher guys, I would look at that and think, maybe that'll be interesting. I'll wait until I see some gameplay and some impressions. If you listen to people that have played this game, I'm not sure if they're playing it or if they're watching like a demo. I think they are playing it. Everyone is fucking blown away by it. It sounds incredible. But it wasn't part of the conference. And I still think that's quite a while away. 2020, I reckon. So I'm going to give it to
Sekiro.
Fallout 76 for me.
Oh, I thought you'd go for The Last of Us.
Again,
I was getting ready to say, yeah, sure, Last of Us, I'll agree with that as first.
Me too.
So none of our favourite games are...
Fallout 76 is this year for me, though. I can't, like, Last of Us, I just want them to take their time. I don't really care about a date. Like, if they tell me it's not out next year, I don't care, as long as they nail it.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think it looked incredible. Oh, you're probably right. It still is the best game of the show.
Wise.
In terms of the showings, yeah, it is. You're right. The Last of Us. Well done, Ben.
No, I mean, I'd have like Ghost of Tsushima is just brilliant, but I can totally understand. Well, Ghost of Tsushima, I've got, like you with Fallout, I've got a lot of expectation for it, and I want to see more of it and find out like what's the story. Like I know it's based on real life events, I believe, but I want to play a bit. I want to see how it feels. Whereas we just know Last of Us is going to play brilliantly, and looks like it does based on that gameplay.
Mm. So we're left with Sable, lol.
Sable, lol.
Last of Us Part 2, or Ghost of Tsushima. I'm quite surprised with that choice, Ben. That's
It's
No,
good.
but
it didn't seem that hot on it when we watched the conference.
But I love beautiful, beautiful games with really stunning cinematic kind of and art styles that kind of work together. Something which I said before, God of War didn't really do for me. But this, and also it has a mixture of a Neo, and I love that kind of setting. No, it seems like a game that I could really sit down and enjoy.
I'm so torn between the two games you guys said. It is the two games I wanted to say, but I wanted to give Sable the.
The Sable could be third. Like could be our bronze.
If anything, it's gonna be third. It's not gonna be second or first. I know that. I want to give it to The Last of Us.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
But I think just because it's a new IP, and also I hate, by the way, the word IP. It's so business. But and also from what I saw, but as you said, Ben, we know we're gonna get amazing Last of Us.
Yeah, it's gonna be quality, and they didn't show anything other. And we knew it was gonna be amazing.
There's a reason we have a click play game of the century, Last of Us 1. I don't know. Is that
game of all time? Yeah, even before last century.
Yeah. It's the reason we have it for Last of Us 1. So.
But we knew it's going to be amazing.
Last of Us Part 2.
We knew it was going to be amazing. I thought it would be amazing, and then we saw that at Sony and was like, oh, it's even better than. Well, it looks like it could be even better than. It was even better than what I was expecting.
And I'm going to hate us for this fucking list.
Yeah. Wait, what? You gave it to Sony and the Sony game?
3 instead and just really fuck him off.
Wait, what was the third game? That on. No, that wasn't at Sony, was it? What was yours again, Melon? That third?
Sable?
Yeah, was that Sony?
It was from PC Gaming Show.
So that's the only that's the only non PS4
had it as well in one of the sizzle reels. I can't remember who.
Yeah, I think it was Microsoft.
Okay. Oh well, he's got something. So we've got Sony as the winner, and like the other top two games are all Sony exclusives. But Sony are also the arseholes of the conference for that Fortnite lockout. So. Well, so what?
It has nothing to do with E3.
No.
I don't think it's anything to do with Sony, but okay.
Could be.
So, got Sony down as the winner of the conference. Third best game, Sable. Second best game, Ghost of Tsushima.
Sushi. Just say sushi.
And first game, Last of Us Part 2. And so the last award that we need, biggest disappointment.
The Jordan Reese biggest disappointment.
Yeah.
For me, it's easy.
Go on then.
The way they showed Elder Scrolls 6. It's like tickling the balls, but don't go all the way.
They gave you a ball tickle.
Yeah.
You've got Elder Scrolls 6. What about you, Ben?
I don't know. You go first. I'll try and think of one.
I was just thinking of one while you were.
Well, haven't you got a list of all the games?
I can. While you guys think, I can tell why. I'm really hyped for Elder Scrolls 6. It's like one of the most anticipated.
Anticipated.
Thank you, Ben. A game of like our century after Skyrim. I'm really hyped about it, but for me, it seems like it was like they don't have anything. They just needed something to get the hype up.
The worst thing is they didn't need it. That's what annoys me. They didn't need it. Like
At
Microsoft
least after,
needed Halo Infinite. They haven't got anything, but they needed to do that, and it made total sense to open the show with it. To just put Elder Scrolls 6, Skyrim 2, like at just the end of the show as a throwaway, just seems.
And it wasn't even like animation like in Halo or anything. Halo at least had some animation.
Mm.
It was a representation that they've done something with.
Mm.
It was like I could have made that in fucking Flash.
I don't think so. It's still quite pretty, even though it's short. But yeah, I get your point. I'm thinking maybe that, like, as much as I fucking love that new Smash game, waiting until December is a bit of a fucking bummer for me. That's a long time.
Yeah, the
I was
name.
really hoping
yeah.
it'd be September at the latest.
I
would say Smash wait. I think for you, Ben, or you just too positive?
No, I'm nearly finishing reading what's going on. Like the list of all the games that were announced here. I'm nearly at the end.
It could be anything.
Probably. I mean, just for me, this. I don't know. I would probably agree with the Smash wait, or. Just nearly. Yeah. I would probably say the wait for Smash.
Okay.
It was longer than I was expecting, but then, and also it just went on forever. I thought that was a bad direct. I thought the direct was just boring, like really boring. And like the stuff that they were showing, I've heard
every fucking.
Yeah, but for people that weren't interested in Smash, that game would just I know. They could have done that with a treehouse. Yeah, why didn't they do it at a treehouse?
Tell me about the special moves.
Yeah, who cares about that? Why are you putting that in the main bit? Why didn't you put some more stuff like other games in there? Yeah, that's
all right.
The whole Nintendo one was pretty meh for me.
Yeah, I think the Elder Scrolls bit. It's less I'm disappointed by it. It's more that I'm confused and a little bit salty about I just don't think they needed to do it, and I'd rather wait a couple of years and then have that game announce it properly. But hey ho, first world problems, innit?
It's to stop people whining, but also to get people a little bit hyped.
Well, they'll whine more every trade show now. They'll be like, "Is Elder Scrolls there? Is Elder Scrolls there? Is Elder Scrolls there?" No, it's not going to be there for 4 years. So,
but I was disappointed with Starfield the way they teased that, and that was a better tease than Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah,
so you can imagine my disappointment.
I can. Are you disappointed that Smash Brothers isn't coming out until December, Melon?
I'm fairly new in the Switch world, so for me, time is like I have so much catching up to do.
Josh in the chat says, "Wine, wine, wine." We are talking about the biggest disappointment, so we can't really talk about.
Yeah, we can't. Be
came in at the wrong
pretty
point.
Positive for the last fucking 3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Smash because 2 of us are saying it.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
just
gonna be it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I'm glad that's done.
Yeah.
One of the best E3s ever.
I thought it was the most disappointing. I thought I didn't like
better
it.
Than last year.
Interesting.
Next year will be interesting.
Yeah, it feels like one of those years where there aren't many new announcements, but they have like lulls, don't they, where they announce loads of massive new games, and then this year's like, hey, we're still working on those games, so maybe, and here's some gameplay. So that's one of the reasons why we saw quite a lot of gameplay this year. Maybe not for every game that John wanted, but yeah, it seemed to be this year was like, there weren't that many big announcements, whereas maybe next year, once some of these games have come out, maybe it'll be 2 years actually.
Next year's E3 is the start.
Like the last 4 years with The Last Guardian. We're like teasing it every year.
What happened to the Final Fantasy VII remake? That wasn't there.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's another fucking disappointment.
Actually, I did see a news.
I don't understand why Square Enix had a
whole.
They had a whole show and they didn't say anything about it. I want to check. That was my biggest.
Yeah, but also they've someone's.
I'm totally up for putting that as the most disappointing thing versus Smash.
because it really is actually.
Apparently, it's gone beyond. It's gone beyond. A couple of days ago, they brought some stuff out that it's not in early concept stages anymore. I didn't think it was, but would be. But all right. The Daily Express has updated to tell us that Final Fantasy VII is further along than you think. and also that Diana isn't in there, and they're really upset.
Yeah. Right, we done?
Yeah, just the chat. See if we got any comments. Swill says I was disappointed by this year. I thought Sony smashed E3 last year when they went for the players. God, yeah, for the players. Remember when that was their slogan before they started cutting off people from playing Fortnite? Yeah, exclusive.
If you're playing Fortnite, you fucking deserve all the misery you can get.
Yeah.
Was it? I don't know. I actually think this E3 was the best. Hilly says it was the best. It's so weird. Like some people.
Yeah, for me, it's the best as well.
Yeah, like for me, it was one of the worst. It's very mixed. And some people loved Sony, some people hated Sony, some people loved Bethesda, some people hate. It's really, really mixed this year.
But it was 2 years ago. It was
The Last of Us, maybe. That was 2 years ago, wasn't
The Last Guardian. They showed The Last Guardian and gave a date. It was 2 years ago.
No, that was last year because I remember being on. I was in my old apartment last year.
For me, was the highlight ever from E3. But this year, I just feel like it was so much good new games and every show there was. This year, EA had the worst show, but even EA didn't have a bad show.
No,
everyone had a good show.
Maybe it's just me
It
being
was all
old.
about the games this year.
I'm just getting
so many
older
games.
and cynical, more miserable. Yeah. All right. Well, do we have anything else to say? That's our E3 special. Guys, if you want to watch any of the press conferences with us talking over them, fortunately Mela managed to get out of it by pretending to be sick. John was there for most of them. Flighty and I were there for all of them. So youtube.com/BiggusBennus. Go and sit through all those hours and hours of us just being sarcastic and making really inappropriate comments and about which people would, whose faces we'd sit on. So apparently
if we're going to cover E3, we're not going to talk over the games. We're going to talk after and before the conferences.
Oh,
just saying.
Wait a minute, that sounds like just repeat. Yeah, we should talk less. I was watching other people's coverage and they didn't really talk at all over it.
Fuck them.
Yeah, if they want to watch that, they can just watch the raw feed. All right. I think a lot of people watched ours afterwards anyway, rather than during live. So we're going to be back. Click Play is back in 2 weeks. Next week is the Twitch Play special with me, Flighty, Mellum.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. And maybe another person or two. Well, I'm sure I'll find somebody. Okay, stick around. I'm going to be streaming some Octopath Traveler in about 10 minutes, but I'll have to go to the loading page while I set everything up. But if you want to find Mellum, how do we find you, Mellum?
I'm Mellumman on Twitch and Twitter.
And Jordan?
I am Immortan Jord on Twitch. No, Twitch. Twitter.
Twitter, yeah.
Twitter.
You're Jordan Reese on Twitch.
I'm not on Twitch, really, am I?
No, it just has an account.
I am right now, but...
Yeah. And
really.
If you listen to this on the podcast, you know where to go. Twitch.tv/BiggusBennus. Twitter/BiggusBennus1. And on Fortnite Epic Games, add me BiggusBennusTTV.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, goodbye and stick around because see, I'll be playing some Octopath Traveler.
Oh, that's a good game. Goodbye.
Yeah. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.